There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down loud. Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down, wow. Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
This little piggy. My name is Patrick. Sorry that we're late. It is 100% my fault. I'm not going to delay. We're going to bring out your fellow nerds. Welcome to the show. Karl from Who Are These Hamburgers?
What is happening? Patrick Melton. Good to see you, buddy.
Oh, my God. And Moody joining us all the way from, what do they say, across the pond? You're not even, it's not even a pond. It's just, he's in the basement of the world.
The Antipodes, the other side of the world. Yeah, something like that.
All my fault, by the way. None of these guys' fault. 40 minutes of Milton having problems. 20 years in the biz.
I love that you bought a piece of equipment that's made podcasting easier for everyone, and you exclusively have problems with it.
Yeah, somehow the old system of tangled spaghetti cables worked.
And when you upgraded,
reliably.
What did I say when you upgrade? I'm like, fuck, I got to upgrade my shit too. I've been using the same equipment. It's outdated. And now I'm like, I should not upgrade. This
when
is
it
nightmare.
works, like it actually functions well. I love it. But like, I'm not kidding. There are some firmware issues. The Bluetooth gets out of sync. So I use the Bluetooth channel for playing like my Chromecast videos and stuff on the show. So I have them on their own fader. And it works great. The mouths are in sync with the people talking. It all works great. I'll come back the next day and there's a delay and I have to reboot the Rodecaster and it fixes everything. But then sometimes you get no sound out of it and I literally restart Chrome and it'll play. Like there's
Bluetooth
some weird
is never consistent on any device. It's the worst technology ever.
Yeah.
Well, the other channels do it too because the chat channel wouldn't work and then I restarted Chrome before the show and it fixed it. So I there's something going on with the USB.
Should we just do troubleshooting tech problems on Fridays? Would that be our new show?
It is like every day when you don't change something, you come in. It's so frustrating when it doesn't work again. So I apologize. It is all me though. It wasn't these guys at all. I got to pull up my sheet. I didn't even pull up my research. This is sloppy, and we do have a goal. So it is like the Steel Toe Morning Show. I haven't done my work. We're not set up. We're not ready to
Right.
go. We're starting the show talking about all the problems the show's having, and I want your money.
Show. It's still going to be fun. It's still going to be great.
Yeah, but it's still a better show than most of these guys do. Like, luckily, I got the chops. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. You can't fake the talent level. That's what I'm saying. Welcome to this little piggy. We're going to talk about Chad today, too, a little bit, since I have some control. Because Chad had quite a week. You know, it was an amazing week for Steel Toe, which it always is. But Chad had quite a week, so I thought maybe we'll talk a little Chad. Tookie will hopefully be joining us a little bit later in the program if he's able to escape from whatever asylum they're keeping him in. I don't know what's going on. But Karl, what are your thoughts on the week with Steel Toe?
Well, I have a lot to discuss about Steel Toe this week. Now he's doing 5-hour-long episodes. I think this is something you predicted.
Yeah.
That it's not like the shows are going to get shorter because no one's giving him money. The shows will only get longer and longer as people are not giving him money. And I have to say, it dilutes the product when you're online for 8 hours a day. It's not that special anymore. We're like, is Aaron on? Yes, of course he's on. He's always on.
Yeah, he went over 5 hours on one of them, I think. But yeah, it's happened a couple times where he's been like 80 or 100 away, and he tells his co-host, "You can go if you want. I can't afford to go. I gotta stay on. I can't miss goals."
Even Rumble Friday was over 5 hours today.
Yeah,
because if people are giving him $20 links, man, it's hard to walk away from that. He had to play. So I was watching it this morning. He had to play this racist song because the guy gave him $20, and the rules are you give him $20, he has to play whatever you give him.
10 minutes, right?
Yes, up to 10 minutes long.
Oh man.
So he's playing this racist song, and he's like, "Oh, guys, they're gonna say the N-word on this song, but I have to play it. Give me $20. Didn't he learn from the live show not to give control to the listeners of Steel Toe, that that's a bad idea? Like, he scolded them afterwards. And his entire Friday is based on the idea that, like, let's let them program the show today.
Well, it used to be Gino, so somebody's got to control it.
Right.
But $2 a minute is insane.
Yeah.
Like that is that's what you price your airtime at.
This is a guy who should sell advertising for a living.
Right.
You should know what it's worth. Right.
Still does. Don't forget Benny from E-Sig Lounge. Have you noticed the Midland Armory ads this week have changed? He can't say gun. He can't say ammunition. He can't. So he goes, they have all your gear and supplies.
Oh, I'm all out of gear. Good. I'll go there.
Yeah.
It's less than 1 penny a second. Like a 15-second ad would cost less than like it's a quarter. Like you throw that to him and you can play a bumper whenever you want. Like that's nuts.
No one's figured that out. Like again, any real business person who is really interested in advertising would just make an ad for their product or whatever. Like Stoney's would. I don't understand. Cheetos must be the dumbest person ever, and it might be true. We're gonna watch. He did midget bowling a couple summers ago, and we have some videos from the Cheetos patio where everybody's outside. These redneck bikers outside of Cheetos are throwing midgets around, and they've got banners up advertising it. Midget bowling. Come on down to Stony.
Are you saying this isn't a good bit? This sounds amazing.
This is post-pandemic. Okay, this isn't like
sounds good to me. I like it.
This isn't so. But how do you sit there and co-sign? Because he's also a fan of the show, that he's selling these gifts, like he's selling gift cards to your business at a more than 50% discount.
Right. And it's crazier than that, right? Because can't you super chat him $50 and you'll get one?
Why is that? Off to a rough start. Oh, I'm enjoying this. Who's the bitch now? Another win for the Toe.
Yikes. Sorry.
That is correct. If a show that doesn't like your show starts late, that's a victory for you and a reason to celebrate. That's true.
Yep. He makes money off that.
Right. Yeah. That helps him out in his life and career for sure.
Why doesn't Stoney have a jingle yet? Like that should be playing every 10 minutes on Steel Toe.
I just don't get, like, there's nothing about every decision that guy makes that, like, this can't be a legit. This is pity. It's pity. These people giving him, they're all friends. It's like Benny from E-Sig Lounge, who's also on the show. Cheetos is one of his sponsors, where he has every one of his live events.
Mm-hmm.
And also consequently hangs out.
This is how old school radio guys, this is how they do it.
I guarantee
they become friends with all the business owners, and the business owners are excited to see them because then they're going to talk them up on the morning show the next day. It's all payola without the music execs.
I'm sure they gave April free boxes around, for the mentions. I was 100% some of the payment from Midland Armory was ammunition for April. She probably swung by on the way out to Nick's. You gotta pick up some condoms and some ammunition.
Gunpowder isn't the more fun powder, but she still needs it.
Yeah. And I'm kidding. They didn't use condom.
She hunts with a bow and arrow though, doesn't she?
Didn't she have a rifle? I've seen her. I thought she did let that one deer just wander off into the woods and die while she went back to the cabin to get warm.
Mm-hmm.
That was an insane
That's responsible.
story. And then to tell it, like, I just let it go, and then I came back later, I couldn't find it. It's like, great. Great. Use no parts of the deer, they say.
I've just like the Indians.
I've just come back from deer hunting. That's what I was doing last week. And
Yeah.
you go and follow the blood trail to like find where they are. You don't just we'll come back later.
You do have to like stay on it.
Yeah.
You can't go have a hot cocoa and come back and think you're gonna pick up the trail, especially if it's snowing.
Because they go and sit down if they're wounded. They will cover a large distance if you didn't get a good shot.
And you might be able to put it out of its misery.
Right.
That's
like
what
letting
you're
it
doing.
bleed out for the next 4 hours is kind of a dick thing to do. Yeah.
Right. I don't
Not
know.
that I care about. Not that I care about the deer. They're annoying.
He was today watching, speaking of April, he was today watching back old shows with April. I guess these are some of the clips people were sending in.
Yes. I saw some of that.
And reminiscing, and it's so funny, the hindsight on this guy. It really is crazy. Like the minute April was gone, he was able to admit she's not a real talent. She didn't have it in her, but what was he supposed to do? What was he supposed to say? She's his wife. She's right there. It's like, yeah, but you were selling this thing, to us all so hard that no one could do what you do. April could probably do her own morning show, Yeah,
if you were such a pompous ass, it'd be a lot easier to say, guys, every episode I did between November of 2023 and March of 2024 is garbage and unwatchable. And I can't believe anyone's still here watching me. And This is what he said on the shows. He's watching back and stuff. He's like, wow, this is terrible. It's like, okay, maybe you had some humility. Yeah, right. If you had some humility, you could get away with that. He has zero humility.
The fact that he bookended it by specific dates, like every show from November to April 1st, I apologize for it. As if he stopped lying to everybody and manipulating people. Like that's actually when the manipulation started.
Yes.
Right. That's when the
Bacon,
Keanu, Gino, Johnny, all these people he was still lying to about everything. The polycule, the cocaine, the divorce.
That's right.
Everything.
You forget there was 6 weeks there from April 1st to mid-May. 7 weeks where April's still upstairs. We're doing great. She might come back. She'll probably come back on the show someday. And I thought he was being honest. I figured that was true. I'm an idiot.
Her parents thought he was still being honest. He hadn't told them anything.
Every friend, every parent. The idea that he still is pushing this one hard today too. Like I tried to step in. I tried to get her everything I could do to stop. You didn't. You kept it under wraps. It's so insane. And then he's watching the video back like, yeah, I moderate comments, which I love that. And I have to go through and delete all these comments saying her hair looks bad. She's clearly on coke. Her skin's getting worse. And he's like, and I thought she was hiding it pretty well. It's like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Citizen M made a video explicitly saying April's on cocaine and you lost your mind, banned him, and said, this stops now. Nobody can accuse April of cocaine again.
No more mentions.
So we all knew it was true from that point on. And then but to act like you were hiding it well, and then he's watching the videos back like, oh yeah, it's obvious she was on. It's like, this guy's hindsight. I can't.
But then, and then when it came out that he was physically abusive to April, he dealt with that in the exact same way. He's like, no mentions of physical abuse. Anyone who mentions that in the chat will be banned. Yep. Tell me when I'm telling lies. That's how you know.
That's how you know.
The whole time you've been telling lies. We've been telling you when you're telling lies. There's a million clippers out there telling you about all of your lies.
So on the show that he's talking about April and reminiscing about all of that, he's talking about the fact that he gave up on his family for April. His family told him, this isn't the right girl. She's not right for you. You shouldn't do this. Discommunicated it from him. And he said on his show, this is crazy. He goes, looking back, my family was right. And I bet, April would admit that too, that they were right about her. As if he had nothing to do with the relationship falling apart. It was all April now. So April would be like, yeah, you're right. Your parents are right. I'm the problem in this.
We may never know what really happened there. We may never know the real falling out because if I had to bet, I'd bet Aaron was being two-faced and turning them against each other, just like he did with Ashley in April.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a prime divide and conquer sort of guy. So either he's going to split you apart, like he's trying to do with Gino and Keanu now. He's saying like, Gino's a good guy.
Good
Keanu
call.
sucks. I can't. Gino's trying. Like he does that. He did the same with Ashley and April. He was like, she's doesn't want you to be a mother. He does that. And I think the other side of that is like, don't worry, April, they're the world, they're against us, but us two are over here. So like he creates teams and splits up other ones so that it's easier to pick people off.
He triangulates is the term that you would use for this type of behavior.
Got psych Karl here.
Yes. About
the Gino Keanu thing is very interesting because he started that a couple weeks back where he's like, and I forgive Gino, because Gino is doing this like, you know, like Zen Buddhist. I forgive Aaron. You know, he's a child. He drugged me into, I forgive Aaron, which is fine. And then Aaron's whole thing is like, and I forgive Gino. I know why he did what he had to do. I know who got to him. I understand he's with Keanu, so he has to go along. And it's like, yeah, bitch, you're the real truth that he's denying because of his wife to be. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Wait until Gino's on this little piggy. All that is going to go away. That's what he's looking at right now. He's like,
Has he said that?
No, but you know that he was so pissed Keanu was out here last week.
Keanu was
he was going extra vicious at Keanu this week. And so I imagine if Gino shows up, that he'll change his tune on that because he's calling me out now. I'm finally got on his radar somehow. I can't believe it. This week he finally called me out by name.
I honestly thought Keanu was great. You know, I think she's devoid of talent and personality on her own, but right in the corner is where she shot. I thought she did great.
Aaron's mentioned this I think one time about a week and a half ago. I wasn't here last week, but he said, I read some of the things that Gino was trying to do, and thank you, buddy. Look, I know you're stuck between things.
Right.
I think what's happened, I don't know. Like, it could be that it's in his case, you know, the revenge porn one. It could be that Gino doesn't really want to go and testify or something like that. And
I don't think he wants anything to do with it.
Yeah. And Aaron is saying, like, that's great. Thank you so much. You're on my side because you don't want to testify against me. It's like, no, he just wants to wash his hands of the situation.
Well, here's a dumb legal question. He's already put out a statement to the police that he saw the image and what it was. Does he have to go testify in court? Or can the police just be like, yeah, we called up Gino and Keanu and they both
he could be subpoenaed, right? And if his testimony contradicted what he told officers, which is also in a way testimony, and he could be perjuring himself, right? I don't think he doesn't want to lie. He doesn't want to lie.
That's my point. They already have a statement.
But Keanu can also go because she also saw the picture. She can verify what that is. And they've got the phone records from April because she was still on Aaron's account. So she could go in, log in, get those and send those to the
And an interesting thing that came up last week when Keanu was on, and Patrick, thank you for grilling her a little bit because you knew the questions to ask on that. I was hoping you would take over, and you did. Thank you. But she had mentioned that she thinks Aaron's the one who took that photo. It looked like she was posing. Obviously, she didn't take it herself. It wasn't a selfie. So it looks like maybe Aaron took that photo. So it wasn't even necessarily sent to him.
How do we know that? How do we know what this photo looks like?
No, Keanu said that. She's seen it.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said last week on the show, which was interesting. If Aaron took that photo himself and then sent it, that's even more devious, in my opinion.
Well, in my experience,
he took a screenshot in Signal chat, though. So he went into the Signal group, screenshotted it, and then that's what he sent. So for him to have that picture and to pull it from Signal is weird. But also, Aaron doesn't know tech. So it's like he would, rather than go to his photos, go to Signal.
Men and women work the same way. Men get a picture of their penis that they like, and it's the penis picture they send to everybody. Women the same way. Nick might have taken this photo of Kayla and she had it on her phone, and she looked great in this one, you know, and so who knows how old this photo was or what context it was taken in or who took it. And I think there's some aspects of that case that we just don't know. I mean, we don't know who has what. We don't know if this is a slam dunk. We don't know if Aaron knows something we don't. The thing is, he acts so arrogant. He always acts like he's got something up his sleeve that he's going to pull out. And, you know, a lot of times they do, but maybe not. We don't really know. It's hard to tell from his behavior.
He was going through that chronicled list of everything that had happened in Nick's case. And he was like, the only correction I have is is that he like it was some minor correction about something, but it was like about texting. It was a message sent on Twitter or something like that. It wasn't on Twitter. It was through text. It's like, Aaron, what about the part where it says you sent a picture of Kayla to Gino?
Right.
Is that a correction you want to give?
No,
Or do you
that
want to say it's all correct?
seems bang on.
It's like, that's fine.
Now that you bring that morning up, so that was Monday morning, and boy, oh boy, did Aaron have trouble with goals this week. And on the outside, I guess he caught up or whatever. I'm having a real tough time following here because he'll say we missed last night, we missed this morning, we're having trouble. And then the next show I'm watching him, and he's like, oh, we're almost going to get the quad. And then the next morning he's raising money again. So I think the quad has lost meaning now. I don't like he literally like missed 2 in a row, and then he caught up and got the night one. And then on that night when they didn't give enough money, he was like, oh, we almost got the quad. And it's like, I don't know what the quad is anymore. Did anybody catch it or figure it out? Or
I think when he misses a goal, he doesn't retroactively go back to try to fill that goal. And so it's a clean
Sometimes
slate.
he does. Oh, hold on, Moody. You wrote the rule book.
Yeah.
You wrote the rule book on this. Yeah.
Look, that
yeah,
was
Moody's rule book is out of date already.
I know.
DSM-1.
That is from the streak era. We are no longer in the streak era.
You're right.
We
We're
are
out
in
of
the
the streak era.
looking quad era.
Okay,
so
yep.
We no longer care about like the goals getting hit at each consecutive show.
Right.
We care about how many goals forward we can get from one show.
Right.
Yeah.
If we build out a roadmap ahead enough, we won't fall behind.
The streak looks back. We're looking forward.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
A wise woman once said that. Yes.
Holy shit. So Monday was his first struggle session, and he all morning long teased that if they hit the goal, he would read over this timeline of Rekieta degeneracy. And I don't know if Rekieta heard about that or whatever it was, but Rekieta comes over to the NLO chat. And he's splashing a little money around, and then a fake Rekieta comes in and starts having fun with everybody. And of course, there's people there who hate Nick, and there's people there who only love Nick because of how much he's getting to Aaron. Yes, tell the 80-20.
According to Aaron Imholte, 80% of your chat hates Nick, and we're busting his balls in there. Is that true? Because I was watching your show, and I didn't see that at all.
I happened to see a clip today of a fine young prodigious podcaster named Karl, and he has a show called Who Are These Podcasters?
I've heard of it.
Get it wrong every time.
I know.
And no, you showed a clip where you showed him saying that. The same way that he says the entire internet is crucifying me, but to him the entire internet is certain threads on
this one thread on Kiwi Farm. Yeah, right.
And parts of Reddit, I guess. That's the internet to Aaron. But either way, and then you went over to the chat and showed it because I think the chat is still available for that program.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, you're a legend, Nick. Nick's here.
Nicky Rex. Hey, what's up? People are like, holy shit, Nick's here. That's cool.
And don't get me wrong. There are, of course, comments in there where like, Nick's just as bad. Nick's a degenerate.
Yes. And people say I'm sweeping for Nick. I'm not sweeping for Nick. I'm not pro giving a 9-year-old cocaine. They can't appreciate it like us adults.
Right. Nick's done some bad. Do you think Nick doesn't know what he fucked up on?
Yeah.
Again, I will still say that like most times children are better off with their parents rather than foster homes. And that if Nick can get a hold of himself and quit the cocaine and seek the help he needs
and put your guns away. You gotta put your fucking guns away
and put your nanny away.
Be a responsible gun owner, for Christ's sake. That's the worst thing in all of this.
And but it's just like, no, I'm sorry. I've just been following I don't know jack shit about Nick until all this happened. So like,
and then people are like,
I'm being hard on Nick. I don't know Nick. You're all the A-loggers of Nick who have come over and you're mad because I'm not focusing on Nick. It's like, that's not what we do here.
Yeah. People have said to me, or I've seen people saying, Karl is pro Nick because Nick's friends with Dick Masterson. I've hung out with Nick on 2 separate weekends. We've done live shows together in both Philly and Tampa. Like I know
Nick and Dick,
right? That was a fun time. The Nick and Dick session. All he wants to do is mash penises together. He calls it docking. I'm like, Nick, I just met you, man. Is this what we're doing right now?
It is weird how he just wants to do that.
I'll try anything once.
Yeah, he offered when I wouldn't take his money. He's like, "What about some peanut M&Ms?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's a weird dude.
It's kind of weird.
Stay away from me, Nick.
It's like,
sorry, go ahead.
We've ended up to Nick has this like aura of people who just really, really hate him around them, and they hate him to a degree that I haven't seen many people hate someone before. It's
unreal.
It's it's wild.
Well,
so
yeah, go ahead.
So anything that gets in the way of Nick's downfall, including people being cordial to him or not having an opinion on him, is seen as an attack on them and what they believe in.
Well, Aaron cannot get over it. We've said it many times. The April thing, the Nick thing, he's caught. He just looks ridiculous. Like there's no way out of it, and he cannot let it go. And I had no idea of the anger and rage, and I didn't really think about why he was going so hard at me until it was framed in the context of like he hates Nick so much. And I do think Nick is the one pouring fuel on the fire. That morning, Nick came into that, and that night, Aaron started forgetting himself. And that night began an entire week of Aaron now amping up what I've done to literally proclaiming now multiple times on multiple shows this week, Patrick sexually harasses little girls. Patrick sexually harasses 10-year-old girls. Patrick sexually harassed my daughter. Patrick sexually harassed my daughter over and over and over.
That's what I was going to say. He made it sound like every episode you go on there and just sexually harass his daughter somehow.
Yeah.
You ever like heard a guy who's gone fishing talk about the fish that got away, and every retelling, like it gets bigger and bigger? Like
yes,
he's doing that, but with sexual harassment of a 10-year-old.
Yeah, so it's weird because there's, last week or the week before that, there's literally one day he was saying like, you got to be careful. I'm not saying, some of the people are accusing him of horrible things, but you can say, I believe, or
it's a bad look.
It's a bad look. This guy makes jokes. He says they're jokes. But you can't say he does. And then literally a week later, Nick's got him so mad. And I have to assume it's not me. It's Nick. I don't want to give myself that much credit. This guy lost his mind, and now he's actually making explicit accusations over and over and over again. And, a litigious person would be all over this. I don't know, but it's interesting to me how it switched.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I always wonder. If you're sexually harassing a 10-year-old girl every day, why aren't there charges?
Yeah, why aren't they rappelling down from my roof right now?
Sure. I mean, I'm not a fan of getting the FBI involved. Like when John tries to get the FBI involved, but she's probably trying to do something if that's what's really happening.
All the cops do something about that. But also sexual harassment, the other person kind of needs to be aware of what's happening.
Right. That's how harassing works. Correct.
How is she aware of these comments that are being made?
If Aaron is showing her the videos, I'd argue Aaron is sexually harassing his own daughter.
I remember Adam Kroll used to talk about this back when he was on the radio. He would go off on a rant about his wife. And he's like, and my fucking wife's friends are such busybodies. You hear what Adam said about you on the radio? She never would have fucking known it. Like, you don't have, if people aren't listening, they don't need to know what's being said.
Yeah. So, but it's always about Nick. It's always framed. The accusations always get framed in the context of Nick dealing with a guy who sexually harassed his daughter. And so Aaron's very simple mind. He has to make, because Nick is so bad, he has to make anyone Nick associates with seem even worse so that it drags Nick down. As Moody pointed out, in comparison, brings Aaron up. The worse Melton is, the better Aaron looks. The worse,
zero sum for Aaron. The more he can take away from someone else gets added to him.
And the worse I look, the worse Nick looks for being in my chat. That's why he's constantly going, not a good look. Anybody who works with him, not a good look. Not anyone who talks to that guy, not a good look. Donates to that guy, not a good look. As if he's trying to cause me financial damage.
I have noticed that. He has,
You know-
he has mentioned like, we shouldn't partner with you and work with you.
Right.
Good luck.
You wanna-
Even Johnny on a show said, I was going to work with Melton on that super tips. People say to, but I have a daughter.
I have a daughter.
Oh, no.
You know
We don't
what?
let
You-
people with daughters.
I have a sister. Maybe I should stop working with you on this super tip system.
Fuck.
She
I
was,
was
10
doing some
once.
research. I was doing some research yesterday, and you know what's really interesting about defamation in Minnesota?
What's that?
In most places, it's civil, but in Minnesota, it's criminal.
Weird.
So hold on. Let me do a little math on what
I hate
that
to have
means.
someone violate their probation.
If he got found guilty of defamation, it would be a criminal offense and thus invoking the 90 days of jail on
Yes.
top of whatever defamation.
They've got criminal defamation over there.
That's convenient.
I don't want to get off this subject, but it's very funny to me that he's not allowed to talk about Kayla. He's not allowed to talk about Ashley. And he's been shitting on April so hard this week. Like, he's so pent up. I just want to trash the women in my life. I can only talk about April now. Fuck.
Yeah. That's why he's got to find new people, I think, too. You got to branch out. You got to start finding who's the closest person to Kayla. Nick. And by proxy now, Melton. I gotta
Right.
poison. Is this what the fruit of the poison tree is? You have to chase it down. Let's get it caught up with the goal. I know we've neglected it the entire show. It's getting very hungry. Moody, could you keep? I don't know how we'll do this. Imagine if there was a total. Ghost of Speedy. Hold on, these are super, whatever, super chats. Ghost of Speedy. If invited, would you join Nick Rekieta's polycule? Anybody?
No, I'm fine.
I'm good.
I don't think I'm looking for one right now.
Candy bacon? What the F is? Candy bacon anyways. Kalo, April is busy making it, but who knows what it is because I'm not getting it. This got to be a win somehow.
I too am not getting any.
Aside from the candy bacon, it reminds me of one. There was one. I don't know if you guys remember this. There was one morning he had like a little ramekin of nuts, and he was eating almonds or something. He was like,
April brought
I
it
think
down.
it means right. He goes, I think it means she still loves me when she brings you warm nuts.
Yes.
Right? Do you remember
so
this?
much?
Wow.
There's so much.
Forgot about that.
This feels like 7 years ago.
Right. But I do remember that one too. And that was far after the candied bacon incident. And I'm wondering if that was fake. Did he heat up
Yes.
nuts for himself?
Yes. For sure.
Oh, God.
He'd be in his kitchen pouring himself a bowl of nuts saying, it's going to be great if I say this is from
Well,
April.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think April was spending any time in the house at that point because he was even saying how they would text each other cordially. And
we
then
saw
he
we
knows
saw
that she
one
was doing
picture.
coke and getting drunk because the text would get worse and worse from April's end throughout
Right.
the day as she was getting more,
Right.
according to Aaron.
Right.
Or, I'm
We-
sorry, what were you saying, Moody?
We saw one picture from this time on his Twitter of a woman helping him mail out some like stickers and some gift cards, but we can't verify whether that was
I
taken
mean, that could have been
earlier.
Anne.
Or...
Yeah.
It looked like April. I think people tracked down the ring, and it kind of looked like April.
Oh,
but I
that
can't be
definitely wasn't
sure.
from that time period. She's still wearing the ring.
No,
It was a
no, no, like
different ring.
other rings.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Other
She
rings.
loved like turquoise trinkets and bracelets. And Kevin Hassey, after a week of this stops post haste in the free chat that April looked extra strung out, he read it and laughed.
Right.
Mhm.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
funny to him later, you know.
Mhm.
Citizen M, if only there was some kind of Rekieta recap video summarizing Rekieta's past, tailored specifically to the Dabbleverse community. Oh, sounds
I
like
have a
he's
feeling
working on
Citizen
something.
M might have something for us. Nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Citizen M. AO1012. Months of discussion and bashing is fine, but 5 fake super chat shows Nick is seething. Toe logic. Yeah, they weren't even real Nick
Right.
super chats most of the time.
I also want to talk about this word seething.
Yes.
The only person he constantly uses it to refer to people like Nick, to you, to I think he's said Karl was seething at one stage.
Mhm.
The only person I've seen seethe in this universe is Aaron.
Well, Chad,
I guess, like,
but yeah.
Chad, and maybe
KB.
maybe Stuttering John, yeah,
Yeah.
KB. But
Everyone
I've
who's
never-
not having fun doing their show.
Right.
Right.
Can someone? I'm not saying you should super chat Aaron, but maybe someone super chat him the definition of seething. I don't think he understands what it means.
Lolcal as well. He's also started using lolcal a lot, and he doesn't know it. He calls the people in the chat who he owns on a regular basis who are seething at him lolcals.
Well, if he's laughing, then he is extracting lols from them. So that would be a lolcal from his perspective.
Yes, I do. I do understand it from his perspective. Bullshit. God bless it, Melton. Start the show. Yeah, sorry again. That's all me.
The super tip system is the greatest invention of the 21st century. Moody and Milton deserve a Nobel Prize.
That's really not.
I didn't say it. Flimsy Greenberg, 4 p.m. Eastern. Are you trying to stick it to Brennan? Yes.
They're trying to stick it to me.
Theo Hank, the $100 falling are annoying. Moody, take care of that, please. Yes,
I don't have any creative control over this.
Is it too distracting? I think I would argue that it's if I just had to think quick and answer on my feet, I would argue that it's indicative of how the goal is distracting from Aaron doing a real professional show.
This is what's on Aaron's mind the entire time. He's responding to Kamala Harris or something. That's all he's thinking about.
Think of the boxes as stories or topics, but you can't really ever focus on them because money, the goal.
Do you think in Aaron's mind he sees the money as cash, or does he see it as like little super chat icons? And
I mean, like video game life points and Bannerlord. Max Bringle, Aaron plays a zero-sum game. Nobody wins unless somebody loses. 100%. Yeah. We've pointed that out, and it's across everything, whether it's money, clout, viewers. Now he started taking credit for all the Clippers views, and anybody who watches him. He's like, well, they're my fans, so technically those are my views.
Hilarious.
He does it in conversations. Like he'll shit on Matt for not being funny. So if Matt's not funny, then he's the funny one. Like it's in everything.
I think Karl talked about it a little bit on that clip, which you should go watch of him proving nobody was 80-20 yelling at Rekieta. But yeah, he's one of those guys who does not want to surround himself with other talented or funny people. Like he cannot handle that. Just why April was there.
It was like, I was watching a show from like a year and a half ago, and I don't know whether because the current iteration of Steel Toe is so terrible, but April seemed like a fine foil to him.
I'm telling you, see, I'm being vindicated again. Why is Karl going after Aaron? It wasn't that bad back then.
I agree. I wrecked him.
Yes.
A cathode ray tube is a vacuum tube containing one or more electron guns, which emit electron beams that are manipulated to display images on a phosphorescent screen. The images may represent electrical waveforms on an oscilloscope.
Fuck these guys.
I'm learning.
A frame of video on an analog television set. Digital raster graphics on a computer monitor. Or other phenomena like radar targets.
The reason I got a boner during Naked Twister is because I thought I was looking at Kayla's hairy ass, not Nick's.
Oh God! Didn't Gino Dusty $4.99? Didn't Gino get arrested in the last couple of days for breaking into Compound Media? Did he get arrested?
I saw people saying that he was going to get arrested, which is ridiculous.
No. It's like thinking Aaron was going to get arrested for playing a movie.
Right.
Movie night. Like I don't nobody said that.
I don't know if you guys know this, but the NYPD has bigger fish to fry. The guy just walked into the place he used to work, looked around, and then left.
Also, they're not allowed to fry fish anymore.
True.
So really 4,000. So really 4,000 starts. So you can stick it to me. Why is tech support on the show?
Panhandler, $50. Wow. I don't like any of you, but here's $50, 50 bones for dropping the gay Muppet. Fuck Tookie World Order. Wow.
Ow.
All we have to do is not have Tookie on to get a $50 donation.
That's what I've been telling you guys. I don't know why you won't respond to the thread I started. It's just the three of us.
And enough. Triangulation is a method used to determine the location of.
No.
No. I was gonna learn some more.
I'll give you your money back. $18. We can't have to play that. We can't have to play that. This isn't a science program.
I don't miss much, but I really, really, really miss Lorth.
Okay.
Lord.
Lorth is a DJ at one of the clubs Aaron wanted to go to, apparently. Radish says, if the Tookster can't get it, then get Adam Bush on.
I know Adam said he wants to do this show. He said he would do it anytime. I thought
Yeah, we'll
told
get
you
it. I'm
guys
happy to have him on.
but Adam's great. He has brilliant insights into all of this stuff.
Speaking of, the best part of Aaron's segment on Hughesy's show was that amid all the chaos in his life, he genuinely thought people wanted to hear his thoughts on boxing.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So there's Adam. I told you Adam has brilliant insights on this stuff, and there he is popping up on the show. Yes. The idea that he's on there just going, I just thought I was going to hang with Hughes. We talk about boxing. And they tried to, and it lasted 14 minutes, and they're on his shit to talk about.
This other thing.
Aussie guy just yelled at him. He's like, no, Aaron, you've got all this crazy shit going on in your life. Yeah. Of course we want to hear about it.
And Johnny, bless his heart, wanting to go on Kevin's show and all this stuff. And then now Aaron's new thing is you just want him because he's friends with me. It's yeah. And Johnny's yeah, I'm not going to go on your show if all you want to do is talk about Aaron. I want to talk about my show. And it's we don't know what your show is. We don't know who you are. Make with the Aaron stories. What?
He did great on Nice Podcast Stupid. They were able to get so much information out of him.
Because once he's on, he will. Here's the thing. He has to be. Johnny gets treated like shit.
Yeah.
And
oh yes.
So you will leak some dirt.
That's one of the things I wanted to talk about on this show, because he's really amped up the method, the abuse towards Johnny this week. It's gotten to a level where you remember the sex fight that him and April had?
Yeah.
Where halfway through she was going back and forth with him, and then halfway through she's like, wait, you're being serious? Are you actually mad? If you are, that pisses me off. Yeah. And then she stormed off because she thought they were having a banter thing. Right. The same thing is happening with Johnny at the moment. He's if we don't hit the goal today, Johnny's gonna think he's a huge piece of shit and that he doesn't know how he doesn't know how to do a good show.
Well, that was last week.
Break Johnny's heart.
No, but that was, I don't know how much we discussed that on this little piggy last week, but that was incredible. You documented it well, Patrick, where he comes on and he goes, we made a lot of money with Matt, so if we don't make a lot of money today, then Crutches is going to feel like he's a failure. And you're okay, that's a fine thing to say. And then he kept hammering it home.
It was a joke in the beginning. And
yeah.
It got
worse and worse and worse. And he was hitting it on the nines or something. He's such a radio DJ. He can't help himself. Every 10 minutes, he's got to go back and remind everyone that they hate Johnny Crutches.
Yeah. And the insults got worse. He's going to feel like a piece of shit.
He's a little boy with MS and he sucks and you don't want him to
Aaron would also hate if he had to get a job and Johnny were able to keep doing his show full time.
What do you mean had to get a job? We had a reveal this week.
Goals aren't what?
We had a reveal this week of a job. He gets paid.
That's right.
He gets paid by his boxing gym.
He works at the gym, which makes perfect sense. The reason why he was able to open it that one night to go in
and
there.
he uses that money to make up for the goal sometimes.
Yes, Monday night he didn't even hit the goal with the extra 100, but he said, "I'm going to take the money I make." He was 115 off the goal. Mm-hmm. He said, "I'm going to take the money I make from boxing, from teaching boxing." Now, you don't need keys to a gym to teach boxing. You need keys to a gym to clean. You need keys to a gym to open up.
Yep.
Yeah, lock up, clean up everything.
So the janitor definitely has keys. That I know for a fact.
Right. I can't guarantee every trainer has keys.
Probably not.
To a gym.
The NLO Discord has come up with the term trainator.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I do wipe some things down, but I also look at myself in the mirror and give a couple of those every time I walk by the.
Yeah.
Imagine taking lessons from this guy in boxing. So what's your record? Well, I'm 0-2, but I'm really going to turn things around.
I'm 50-0 against spills and buff marks on the ground.
And this gym looks like one of the wings of a theater. It's just piled up with stuff. There's half walls,
low ceiling and stuff.
It's
It's very funny. You know, I was thinking about this when he challenged
the ceiling. Yeah, the ceiling of this gym. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
he's 6'5". He's almost hitting. If they had a globe on the ceiling, it's drop panel.
If there's a disco ball, he'd have a disco ball print in his forehead.
He's up against it. So like what?
Right.
What?
But when
if you win, you go like you hold your fist up here.
Yeah, you can only go at this high,
which is not a good look.
When he was challenging Ethan Ralph to the boxing match, and he decided to go down to the gym, get on the headgear, get in the whole thing, and bounce around the ring. Like, when's he going to get here? When's he going to get here?
Check the door.
It reminded me, I forgot about it at the time, but there was a time when I was challenging Stuttering John to a guitar battle because I know I'm a better guitarist than he is by far. Could you imagine if I did that and then the next thing you know, someone's filming me on their phone in my practice space. I got my guitar out. I'm playing licks. Yeah, come on, John, get down here. What are we doing? Can you play this one? It's like so embarrassing. This guy can't help himself. You don't need to get into the headgear and shit. Challenge the guy to the match. Stand outside the gym. Say, I'm here. You coming or not?
Right. Yeah. He knew he wasn't coming. He knew that the whole time.
But that's the worst way to get the victory for that, for the W.
Karl's White Wine. Every opinion Aaron has about the internet people come from Kiwi Farms. You can read Nick's, Aaron's, and Patrick's page and predict what Aaron will say. Now, I don't go on Kiwi Farms, so I don't know if that's true.
You don't wake up every day with Kiwi Farms like Aaron does?
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
The best part of waking up. It's Kiwi Farms in your cup.
The cornerstone of every good day.
Hey, baby boy. Do you know I was sued for calling someone a pee-doo and lost? My lover, Aaron, is following my footsteps. Butt stuff.
That is a good parallel.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing case for Nick at the moment. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's not gone well for him. And yes,
so
he's
I want to find
defamed.
out what lawyer he's used. The guy's. Oh, it's going bad for Nick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick is the one who allegedly said the stuff about the other guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Scooter G. If someone could get Aaron in a deposition, the possible questionings to ask in Aaron's cope would be worth it all.
That's the thing in a civil case. You'll be able to get him in a deposition and ask almost anything you want about the situation. Why are you so mad? Like, and the reasons and digging into that'd be
yeah, and then contradict it with everything he's ever said on his show ever, which he's already done on his show. AO1012, 1 second his show makes money when bashing Nick, but every other time he only makes a couple hundred in profit monthly. Make it make sense. Well, he says he's got the biggest audience he's ever had. Everyone else's audience is just drinking while he grows.
You're dying, Melton. He's doing the Chad Zumach. It's over. Just give up. It's over.
Right. You're bad.
After YouTube takes its cut, he's making between $2,000 and $2,500 a month on super chats. There's going to be other stuff.
PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs.
PayPal, Venmo. But we don't know. There's no way to verify those. And currently he's now showing chats on screen. So he's going to be funneling people towards his least profitable mediums.
I think, and I can't say for sure, I think someone is really looking into some of the fake dono stuff and is going to be able to prove something.
Interesting.
I've heard.
Okay.
So that's all I can say.
I just want to circle back real quick on the showing the chat on the screen now. So he goes, hey guys, great news. We're going to start showing the chats on the screen.
This was
Alex Stein reached out to me over the weekend and taught me how to do it. So I'm friendly with Alex. So I sent him a note. I just go, is this true that you sent him that? All he did, and it is true, Alex Stein emailed Aaron a YouTube video of how to, what application to use with OBS to put the text up on the screen.
Right.
Something that anyone would do. If I wanted to figure out how to do that, the first thing I do is go to YouTube and see if someone's made an instructional video about it. This idiot needs someone to text it to them. Yeah. This idiot needs someone to text it to and be like, oh, this can be done? Yes, every other show does it. It can be done.
The crazy thing for me is like, why not go like, okay, people want to have their chats displayed on the screen. Why not use that to funnel people towards Streamlabs? Because Streamlabs plugs into PayPal. So Streamlabs and PayPal are the same thing, but
It doesn't look good.
Streamlabs has an overlay.
It doesn't look good now. He's got the aspect ratio all off.
Here's the thing.
He fixed
Yeah,
it.
here's why he's so dumb. First of all, he'll read any free chat all show long.
Yeah.
He reads free chat all show long. So that's one.
He's like Opie with that. Yeah.
And then he gets mad. He gets no super chats. So number two, all he's ever done is tell people like we get the most from PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, but now he's got chat display system or whatever he calls it, and he's driving people to super chats, which he loses the most on. Up to 51% now. It's been proven up to 51% on an Apple device. You don't get. That's nuts. So this will cost him money. And also, it's not working. I really thought it would work, but he just skips anything he doesn't want to put up anyway. And it's not working. It didn't rejuvenate his giving. It didn't cause his bottom line to go up. As a matter of fact, he struggled more this week than he's really struggled in a while. He really is having trouble.
Right. He got all of the big donations from the Venmo or stuff we can't see.
Right. So
It's always sketchy.
There's very few other things he can do now, like levers he can pull in order to squeeze more money out of his audience. And it's gonna turn into tricks
going
at
longer.
some point. No, it'll be tricks and
Marathons.
stunts. Like, give me $100 and I will do like 5 laps.
Butter. He says he addressed it this week. He said I'll go off air and quit before I ever do the butter thing. Now I know he's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
Right.
He'll be drunk. He'll be drunk one evening.
One night.
He'll be in a silly mood, and he'll be like, "You know
You
what?
want me to do the butter?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
$500. I do the butter.
Yeah,
And then we get him down to. By the way, I'm writing a check for $500 if he'll eat a stick of butter. I'm letting you know. Holy shit!
Gee, maybe I should let people rewind when they miss 20 min while walking a mile out to the car.
No, we don't do it over here. Sorry.
She wants to be able to scrub back and see what happened before this.
Scrub back on your own time.
All right.
Gee, maybe I should let people rewind
Oh wait,
when they
I played
miss
it
20
again?
min while walking a mile out to the
No,
car.
she did it.
Yeah,
twice.
Melty. God.
She did it twice.
Yeah,
she means
Seems
it.
like I'm making more money off not doing.
Yeah, she really. Yeah, right. That didn't help.
LL Cooley, I'm 102, Moody. I'm looking for a hefty little New Zealand buck, and I want to fill him with 124 grains. Okay, I can't allow this. You hurting my Moody. He's my
what
Moody.
measurement? What unit of measurement are you using for the cum? It's just
7.62 by 39 white hot cum.
Well, what is it? Inches or millimeters?
Don't worry about
pixels.
it.
It's pixels.
You don't want to know. It's spermatoa.
I need to know what units we're
What
using.
resolution you're being cummed into?
Yeah, how big are these
Jesus
grains?
Christ.
What are the grains?
Cash, Moody is trying to instigate a fight with Nick Fuentes now because interest in the toe is waning and he needs content. Ironically, they are the same person. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about the Nick Fuentes.
No, I don't think they're the same person. I mean, both could be labeled as racist, but Nick Fuentes is much more knowledgeable than Aaron Imholte.
AO1012, you okay with the entire internet after you? I'm never
rough.
leaving my basement, so good luck,
Yeah.
nerds.
I'm in love with Nick's dick. It's been so many places I want to be.
If you want to reach the goal, cast date yourself live on stream and complete the CC Cuck achievement of a lifetime. My goal is to get my salad tossed by the Rekietas this weekend.
I forgot he also accused me of harassing April this week. He said Patrick harassed April off the internet.
You didn't?
Yeah, the line's
But, like,
always been Chad.
Again, what is harassed? I
think
Zoom in on her forehead a lot, I think, is what they're talking about.
shouldn't be
Yeah,
taking
like-
calls. Do you guys want to take calls?
Sure. I'll take calls.
Sure.
Oh fuck. No, we shouldn't. It's gonna slow it down more than we ever needed to.
It's-
Peter Sky Parker, Karl, stop yelling. I'm trying to enjoy the show.
Sorry.
Crowdcat, I like giving Merce the credit of single-handedly bringing down the toe and causing his divorce. Yeah, Chad's taking credit for it. I've taken I don't really take credit for it. I know it's everybody. He's the guy. He's coming down regardless. Like it really doesn't. He's doing it.
Yeah.
So everybody can take credit, but it is a collective effort. I think Mike David, I think, even took credit for it. It's like, okay.
They all played parts because he looked up to Mike David. So and he was reaching out to Mike David when you first started A-logging him.
And Kumia.
Yeah. He reached out to Kumia. He had Karl as an ally for a while because Karl thought his show was good. So there's all sorts.
Sugi with a good coochie Tawdry became a member on YouTube. Thank you very much. She said, schedule your weed deliveries better, Melton. Huh?
Yeah, this is going back to before.
When I was late. Yeah,
yes.
no, I've been off the flower. I'm not really. It's helped my cough tremendously. Hooray for movie. Slick Rick, thank you very much. Adam Davies, did you know that YouTube super chats are only available in some countries? Another advantage of the super tip system, the internet's next big thing.
Is that the new marketer you guys just hired for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna blow it out this quarter.
Radish, member for 9 months. Thanks for sticking with these little piggies today, even if they sometimes make me feel better about myself. I've had enough of the fats. Thanks for sticking with these little piggies today. I don't know what this is talking about. I can't make sense sometimes of people's stuff. Turn the rewind on. My God. Again, I'm making more money by not, it seems like. Thanks for the gifted membership, Radish. Chris 048. Aaron took a shot at Johnny saying anyone who didn't like football was a girl and raised on the wrong day. Johnny missed sick. Moody is spot on. But see, Aaron wants to be known as like a manly man, but everything about him.
Yeah, but he wants to play both sides. His thing about the play this week, like being in plays. He was like, I'm a jock, but I'm also like Troy from High School Musical. You know, like it's
drinking bloody Marys on his show every night with his pinky up with a salted rim.
Licking Nick's face. Like he does this gay chicken thing.
No, I think Nick licked his face.
No, but like he also pretended to be like when you go back to that the hot tub stream and stuff, he's always talking about how gay he is with Nick or with Gino. Like it's
he also
always
hugs himself. Have you ever met a straight man who hugs himself all day long?
No, I've met maybe a cold man would do this.
Yeah, if it's this, it's one
to
thing.
show it's a cold area.
What's that? I don't know. There's something else going on.
Last one to get caught up. Member for 11 months, Detroit Mike. Please stop feeding him the false narrative that Aaron is 6'5". Court documents prove he's 6'2". I thought he said he was 6'4", and the court documents said 6'3".
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's still
thank
tall.
you guys.
Like that's a tall person.
Thank you guys very much. We're still no.
I love
guys,
Moody.
I don't want to.
Moody's like people are over 5 foot in the United States. That's
5
crazy.
foot, yeah.
I don't want to alarm people. Okay, we have 1,100 watching, but we have not come near the goal, and we are reaching like an hour now.
What's the
and
goal?
I'm getting I'm not. I don't want to start begging, but that's why I'm bringing it up now.
They're gonna make fun of us. This is the part of the show everyone
we're
wants
gonna
to make
get
fun
clipped.
of.
They're gonna say we were late, and that's why we didn't do it. So I'm not. Were you under your desk?
Guys, you're stressing out Moody.
Guys,
Come on,
donate.
donate.
We're just a little show that needs your help. We can't do this without you. Oh, DK, 20 memberships. That's gonna help. Oh, that's gonna help definitely. But
Thank you, DK.
Enough.
But it's not enough. We need way more than
12
that.
of those. We get 12 of those.
Oh, you know what else is fun? I enjoy this. People who
Thank
are
you, Meredith, for gifting one too. Sorry, go ahead, Karl.
Oh no, it's great. I love the people who are giving him like a penny on Venmo and then insulting him.
Right.
And the message on there.
And they're public.
That's fun. That should probably stick around. That's a fun trend right there.
That one.
So you can go to his Venmo account, which is I don't even know because he never says it.
I don't know either, but
Steel toe and his public Venmo transactions are people sending him 1 cent just to insult the fuck out of him.
It's great.
And he has to he reads those to get through them to know who paid him.
Right.
Yeah. So even if he doesn't read them out, he'll read them. I think that the butter emoji is going to be banned on his on his show.
No, he said he loves it. I love that. It's really funny.
But he says the opposite. He says he loves it, but he does. It's just like he loves when Melton goes after him. He loves it. He loves Chad going after him. Like he doesn't love it.
Aaron announced that he has about 60 to 90 days left. If he keeps saying like, looks like you guys might get your wish, 60 to 90 days of this, and we'll be out of business. He's announcing that. He's put a time frame on it now.
But you know what though? He has changed his mind in the past, so it's possible that he doesn't stick with this. Because if you remember, Aussie guy was like, "Hey, a year ago, you said you wouldn't be begging anymore." He's like, "I changed my mind." Like, great. Then who cares what you ever say ever?
And on Aussie guy's show, you know, before and after that, every day on his show, he said he hates this part, the begging. He's a piece of shit. This is awful. He's sorry he has to do it. But that one day on Aussie guy's questioning, he said, I love doing that. I love that part of my show.
What do you mean? Sorry, so did you get the answer you wanted to hear?
He does this. He's been doing this, like building himself a little visor, like out of his hands.
I've never, the touching of the face and the rubbing of the head is one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in my life.
Moody, can we just, let me just massage between my knuckles here. Can you just agree with me that I pronounced Aussie guy's name correctly and Melton did it wrong? Thank you.
That's correct. Yeah, you've been doing it right.
I'm learning from you.
Yeah,
why? Because I said Aussie?
Yeah, you said Aussie.
Fucking Aussie.
Yeah, it's Aussie. It's Aussie.
Yeah. That's how people from Vegas talk.
Melbourne, okay?
Melbourne. Brisbane. Okay, Crowdcat says Rumble Friday takes care of itself. Which is true. Thank you for the $10. Gonzo says for the goal. Thank you for the $3.
Thank you, Gonzo.
Aaron C with $100 toward the goal.
Wow.
I mean,
look, we get $50 of that.
Play. That's a chunk.
That is a chunk play.
70 of that. That's great. That's great. You almost gave 100, Sharon. Good job. That's the most insulting thing when someone gives 100 and he goes, "We keep 70 of that."
We get about 70 of that. Take 65 off the goal.
Raise the goal to account for the margin.
Yeah, why not just make it gross? That's what I've always said. Stop doing the movie math to say $500 gross.
It's like
it'll wash out at the end.
Right.
It's like you go to a restaurant and they say a sandwich is $20, so you hand over 20, and they're like, "Well, we get 15 of that, so that'll be another 8."
It makes no sense because we see you doing. He goes, "It's easier this way," and it's definitely not.
It's definitely not.
The theory that he's. I mean, we've done them. We actually counted at one time what he's doing. He's hiding money. He's making. He is earning more. He's making more. We estimated it at like 12%, but he's able to sweep in a little extra crumbs because he doesn't count the 99 cents and the $2 at all
until he gets very close to the
end. Right. And then he's like, "Oh, $1 at a
cents.
time. Send him in $1 at a time. That'll be funny."
Movie math has some temporal functions in it. It doesn't quite work the same. Depends on the time of the show.
Yeah, you'd have a really hard time nailing down Steel Toe Morning Show, the video game, because you wouldn't be able to nail down the rules or the mechanics or the
Well, it's everything with him is sports. There is a sports analogy here in college football. If you lose a game early in the season, that's not as bad as losing a game later in the season. You could still rank higher as you do better throughout the year. And like in hockey or basketball, they always say, "Oh, the officials have swallowed their whistles. They're no longer calling these fouls because we're getting close to crunch time." I think that Aaron's the same thing. It's just like, "All right, we can't do movie math anymore. That's out the window. We're down to 5 minutes to go. $2 is $2 now.
We don't have time.
We don't have time to do this."
I'll take it one farther, Carl. He's been playing a lot more golf lately. I think he's into mulligans. I think he likes to go.
I need that one back.
Win yesterday. We can still win yesterday.
That's hilarious.
Look,
I shaked that drive, guys. Let me do it over again. That's ridiculous. Not gonna make me play from there.
Yeah, we really sliced this morning. Hold on, I can't read this one. I gotta make myself larger. There's actual text from April clearly stating Chad ran her off the internet, but Aaron is manipulating it now and saying it was Melton all along. Thank you very much, Carter Derdenchen.
Well, Melton, you remember when you were saying how you were going to have sex with April before the year was over, and that she was going to leave Aaron
No.
for you.
I didn't. That
and,
was Chad. No, I think that was
that's right.
Chad.
That was Chad who said all that. That's
right.
right. Now I
Yeah, I
remember.
think.
Didn't
Yeah,
wait,
but I
didn't-
sexualize April.
I know.
Melton sexualizing. There's not one clip of me talking about having sex with. Hey, get out of
No.
your head.
That was-
Thank
that
you for
was
the
all
super
Chad.
sticker.
didn't Chad also say something about Kevin Brennan's kids?
Yeah, he said he wanted to R word Kevin Brennan's young daughter.
Okay. That's,
Wasn't that
is
on
that-
Christmas Eve or something or shit? Someone's going to call me out for this, but there was like
Eggnog makes you get sloppy.
one of the times that he was kicked off of MLC, it wasn't even for content. He was just messaging Kevin directly, some awful things about Kevin's family.
I have
He can't help
special
himself.
insight into this because again, the weekend I met Chad that he was opening for me at the Looney Bin in Tulsa
Mhm.
was the weekend he had the fallout with Kevin in 2021.
Okay.
And I watched him spiral and drink again, put a hole in the bathroom wall, ripped the towel rack, broke the porcelain of the toilet. I was on the
Wow.
phone with Earl Skakel. Earl Skakel heard him fall and go, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "Your boy's like an alcoholic." I was like he's drinking handles of.
And
vodka.
if I know Earl, he's like, all right, we got to get him help. Let me rally the community. We'll all be down
Right.
there momentarily. We'll get that with him
No,
fixed.
the next
big
day,
fan.
Earl called and I said, "He's in the kitchen making candied bacon. I think he's better." He's
Guys,
doing
I
great.
gotta take a leak. I'll be right back. But
Okay, we'll remove you from the program. Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. You piece of shit. We can finally get caught up on the whatever these are. Junior Fishing 92 with $2 for the goal to make the haters seethe or whatever. And I like how you spelled seethe. Make it your own, I say. Stella B, $10 super chat. Thank you. Earlier this week, Aaron's threatened if he were to quit evenings, he'd have to make up to $3,000 per month. Did you catch that? I did. Did you hear this?
No.
He said somebody in his chat said, and you know why you haven't heard this? Melton's really been lackadaisical this past week. And you got 2 more weeks of that, and I'm so sorry for that. He goes, somebody said, stop doing night shows. Basically, yeah, he's oversaturated. He's just on. Aaron's always on, but unless it's comedically. But someone said stop doing night shows, and he goes, I wanted to, but then some people had to go and fuck that up for me. So he wants to stop doing shows. He admitted it. He like actually said, I wanted to. I want to stop doing night
People
shows.
fucked it up for him by dobbing him into the cops about revenge porn and
Right,
stuff.
right. That's people's fault.
Wasn't it grouty gross how Nick always wanted to take us to strip clubs or the icky stores where strippers buy their clothes? I never understood why they didn't want to go home and watch Jaws.
Let's watch Jaws instead of going to a stripper clothes store. It's
we'd rather grind our teeth. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Just follow the steel toe links in chat. It isn't tough. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Thank you very much for helping us reach the goal. You guys are doing it. For the goal and for Karl's new Florida mailbox. Oh yeah, did you hear about this?
Apparently disappeared, right?
Yeah, Karl. This perfect timing that he's back. Actually, apparently Karl's house. If he'd sit down, take your seat. The fuck is he doing? Jesus Christ! Look how gray. What a disgusting man. Okay, yeah, no, good timing. We were just talking. Somebody mentioned that this is for your new Florida mailbox.
Oh,
how's your Stuttering John drove to your house?
Yes, he did.
To report on the damages and the boring color of your house. And then
well, John is sad.
Fucked up. Your mailbox got
my mailbox.
Hurricaned.
My mailbox is done. So that was my favorite mailbox. I'm very upset about it.
Quick question: is that
family
why
heirloom?
Your mailbox is damaged. Is that why you've been phoning it in today?
Oh fuck! Damn, you got me. Play the got him drop. Yeah, my mailbox is fucked. John literally said he thinks his house is better than mine. Now my house is bigger It costs more. It has a pool, and it's on a canal.
And it has more friends.
It has more friends. But John says his house is better because he likes the outside colors of his house better than mine.
Right.
I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in my house, all I'm thinking about is like, what does my house look like from the outside? That makes me feel good.
Also, paint is like 92% of the value of a home.
That's true. Yes. Very good point.
Like, good luck. You'll have to paint it if you want to be as good as mine. It's like, yeah, it probably will every 10 years or so. Like,
all that structural paint that you need to scrape off.
John's fucking behavior, and we don't have to make this about John, obviously, but his behavior during Hurricane Milton is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
having other loser degenerates over for a. Well, look, Karl, this is what we do in Florida. If you're going to be part of Florida now, you got to get on board with the hurricane party.
It's not about that. I understand that you have people over to your house. Now, John claims he's not in an evacuation zone. It's funny because the people who live right across the canal from me, who I'm friends with, were in an evacuation zone, and it's very close to John's house, but whatever. So he didn't have to go. So he brought the friends from Matt Lachey over to hang with them. The funniest part about that is that, immediately when they got here, they grabbed a broom and a mop and started cleaning the place. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I go over to someone's house and it's messy, I feel like it'd be rude if I started cleaning. It must be really bad, like unlivable. And also the fact that a mop gets pulled out, the floor is the least of my concerns. It must have been heinous.
Hold on, John has a mop?
Well, and the only reason why he does is because his buddy Hitman Dan was over at his house helping him get it set up. And this was a long time after he bought it. And Hitman Dan's like, "Oh, where's your vacuum? Where's the broom?" John's like, "Oh, I don't have any of that." So he had to go to Target and buy cleaning supplies. Yes, he didn't know
like when we said Chad didn't have a couch when he showed his living room, and then the next YouTube check day he went and bought a couch.
Yep, that's it.
This is so good.
It's nice.
It's great.
It's nice they're learning.
Right.
Moody, who's not learning? James Bomber says you. Once again, closed sesame. He can't hear the talent.
What talent? And also, like,
wow.
If I every comment is like, "Oh, this person's," it's fine. But like,
bring back
money,
Kiki. They say, bring back Kiki.
Wow, that's rough, Moody.
Wow.
Put this towards the goal. Thank you very much, Erica Ann.
Now that Karl is gone, I want you guys to know how much I want Karl to just do it with me.
Yeah, it got really, really mean last time. I don't want that to happen again.
Oh, no.
So disgusting. I had one more thing I want to talk about real quick because I also want to kind of talk a little bit about the hurricane and Chad. Mm-hmm. And people are asking, should we send Chad the link? Should we get Chad on to talk about Chad? We'll be able to ask him our questions. Would he accept the link? But real quick, and I don't want to be the one to bring up children on the show, but apparently somebody's got to. Aaron keeps bringing up that his daughter or one of his daughters cut out photos of April, has been cutting her out of photos.
Yeah.
And I talked to somebody I know in the psychology field, and I also, what tipped me off about this was, I think somebody on Reddit, I believe, maybe Twitter, was talking about this, but what an unhealthy way that is to deal with it. Like, it's one of those things, like if you saw your child doing it, you probably should go up and talk to them about their feelings and rectify that so that they're not manifesting this physical, in some ways violent reaction. There's something to the pointy scissors, cutting.
Well, also removing them from your life and your memories.
Right.
There's something deep with that.
There's a world where it's I could picture it where Steel Toe tells his daughter, "You don't need to get rid of the pictures with April in them. These are good pictures. You can just cut her out of them." Like, I don't. It might not.
You think he instigated it?
Yeah, it might not have been her idea. Like, I don't know. It's pure speculation.
Well, because and again,
because he took a picture down of April as well.
It really is not like, I do actually have empathy. Like, these kids, it is like, it's bad. And thankfully they are in a stable home, I guess. I would their home has to be more stable than whatever's going on with Aaron, especially this year. But yeah, it's just he's going to turn them against her and poison their minds against her, and they shall one day hear the other side, whether it's from shows on the internet, whether it's from their mom or their stepdad or April. April herself. April may reach out to these kids once they're 18 and say, look, can I take you to lunch? I want to just explain what happened. I really loved you guys.
I believe Keanu said on the show last week that she's heartbroken about the relationship with the kids because she did care about them. She did care for them. Like she came into this relationship, became mom to 3 young children just like that, and had to deal with it for a couple of years. And so now Aaron's playing this. Yes, she never liked you guys. She's an asshole.
I also saw him deny this week. I had never seen him do this, that I had been reached out to by Balin.
Oh, interesting.
And again, I don't know if it's genuine or not. Yeah, I can tell you this: the only intent from those emails were like, I want Aaron to stop talking about the kids, and he talks about the kids because you talk about the kids. It's like it is this reciprocal thing going on. Like he mentioned something, I mention it. He talks about me mentioning it. So like all he wanted. He said it's really stressing out Ashley, and it's hurting Ashley. And he said keep this between us, which I just haven't. So deal.
Whoops.
But like, yeah, I can tell you like whether or not that's a troll. If it was a troll, I don't know what the intent of the troll was, because he's just like, from one person, I don't know if he's like, I don't even know if you have kids. From one person to another, just I don't want these kids' lives ruined. And it's like, and I was just like, man, these kids' lives are gonna be like it's rough.
It seemed genuine, and I looked up the email address, and it was one of those ones that were like, you hardly see that email pop up in places, and it was linked to his name. So unless someone really went out of their way.
When it got sent to me, that how like there's the address and then the name on the account, and the name was changed to Balin LaRue, which is the joke. People say April LaRue and like all this stuff. So I don't know, but I don't know if he did that so that I would catch it. But it's a sophisticated move to go in and change the name on your email account, send an email and go back, change it again.
Isn't his last name is LaRue? Because it's her last name was like Coach or something, like it with a K.
Way to dox, Moody. Jesus Christ. So hold on, his name is LaRue. His name's LaRue.
That's why her name is not LaRue.
Oh, okay. I thought her maiden name was LaRue, and that was the joke.
I don't think so.
I'm dumb. All right, well then his name's LaRue.
If you look up,
that's fucking embarrassing, Patrick.
The divorce
sorry. No, really. That shows you how into this I am. That really is like I had no idea. I was like, why would he make it her name?
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's his her last name is like starts with a K or something. It's on the Minnesota courts. If you look them up, if you look Aaron's name up, one of the cases is their divorce.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that is embarrassing. Fuck.
Real quick, something else I want to talk about is Alex Stein had Bubba the Love Sponge on his show this week.
Right.
And Alex Stein was talking to Bubba about Aaron Imholte. And of course, as we know, Aaron is the 3rd best broadcaster in the world after Anthony Cumia and Bubba the Love Sponge. So he looks up to Bubba. And it was very funny. Bubba was like, yeah, what's going on with that guy? He's like, you still paying attention to him or something? It was very like flippant about it.
Yeah,
dismissive. And then I love that Alex Stein goes, he's not half as bad as these people say. He's an idiot. He does idiotic things. Like he was trying to like stick up for Aaron and immediately just talked about how he's an idiot.
Yeah, and also like he didn't say he's third behind Opie behind Anthony and Bubba. He said maybe Anthony's better, maybe Bubba's better.
When we're talking about the top 3 broadcasters, it's those 3 names.
Hard.
Figure out the order on your own, right?
Right. The belt's constantly changing hands.
Sure.
Day to day. Although I've never heard Aaron go, we didn't do a good show today unless he was begging for money. Right. And then the minute he gets the money, that night he'll tell you they did a great show this morning. It's like he can't. It's almost like again zero summy in a way where he'll go, we have a great show for you today. Last night's show was great too. He's like He's afraid if he tells you today's show's great, you'll think yesterday's wasn't. And he has to always go back and go, oh, this morning was also very awesome. You should go check it out. And it's like, when is there ever a show that is kind of off or misses? You know what I mean?
November 2023.
All right.
Right.
There's a bunch of shows there. It's almost like you should just do a show and then let the audience decide whether it was good or not. Like, don't tell them whether it was good or not. Let them decide.
Or here's an idea. It's the internet. Some are going to say it was good and some are going to say it was bad.
That's what I mean.
No matter what.
Each individual will decide for themselves.
Right.
You don't have to tell them what to think about it.
I'd like Aaron to start giving himself a report card at the end of every show and grade himself.
That's a good
on whether
idea.
it was a good show.
Right.
Whether
Like
the
line of the
comedy was
day.
good.
Like Opie and Anthony used to do line of the day.
But yeah, there should be different categories about
different money.
as far as
Money
begging for money. I
contribution.
got an A+ today. Obviously, we got the money.
Co-host
Johnny
Karl.
Crutches is a C- as usual.
His MS was acting up. He's terrible.
I think it was June, Real Media Player or somebody in this chat asked him how much time in a 4-hour show do you think you spend begging? And now Real Media Players kind of prove that it's any day. It's on average from 30 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Any day. And I would imagine there's little snippets of mentions here and there that don't even get put into those supercuts sometimes. But Aaron's answer to that was 4 minutes.
Oh, he thought he did it for 4 minutes. He did it
4
for 5
minutes.
minutes at the end. Why would you think it's under 5? That's insane.
There's a video. Yeah, there's a video on Real Media Players channel called "This Video is 4 minutes long," and it's an hour long.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's his bubble. I think he's so used to wrangling the reality of his core people who don't go outside of that sphere again to check Melton or the Clippers or whatever's going on, and he tells them what it is, and they go, God, Aaron's just crushing all these guys on the internet. Why is he having trouble raising money then every day?
Right. So he has zero self-awareness. That proves it right there. If he's doing 40 minutes and he thinks it's 4 minutes, he has zero self-awareness. So the fact that he tells me he did a good show, I go, I don't know that you're the one who should be telling me this. I think that you have a different view of your show than the rest of the world.
Also, you have a history of telling us you're doing an awesome show when you retroactively admit it was horrible, phoning it in, unprepared.
Unwatchable. Yes.
Yeah.
When he was talking about that span of shows that's spanning 5 fucking months, and he said every single episode was a disaster. I was like, okay, so like, what have you learned from that? Like, what are you doing differently? Because the shows are worse now.
You'll get the same thing next year. He'll say, like, I was in the middle of a legal battle and I couldn't say all I wanted to say.
You're right.
I'm sorry for the April to December stretch of shows.
The same way on MLC, somebody asked him, like, so you admitted April was shit. Will you admit Johnny is shit? And he looked at the camera and he goes, what do you want me to say, guys? He's my friend. So it's like,
there you go.
Don't have them on the show.
Right. But it's like Matt's your friend too. Matt is arguably more dull than sawdust. And he does this thing sometimes. I don't know if you remember, but sometimes he'll go on a tear where he's like, Matt has been fucking killing it on these night shows, bringing it. Like, people are loving Matt. It's like, the distortion is so real. I can't fathom what he's speaking of. Like, put together a sizzle reel of Matt.
that all came from Jesse PS when he was like, "Oh, we're the Matadors. We love Matt." Like, he did a whole thing about how much
he does it unironically. He's like the Matadors.
The Matador. Like, that was coined by Jesse.
Well, I wouldn't say unironically, right? Jesse's probably trolling, I would imagine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
Jesse tells me he loves something about your show. It's like, okay, all right.
Every time, by the way, he tells this Jesse PS story, it gets different. He repeated it again this week that Jesse got in touch with me and wanted me to come on with him to get steel toe, and I turned him down and said I'd rather be on with a trans person. This conversation, first of all, never happened. And it was a private message on Discord that I didn't even get. I think it went to request or something at that point. Jesse and I hadn't talked or something. But either way, this was last minute on a Wednesday night, which again is my day. I don't even do shows. And And I was literally at the dog park. When it's nice in Vegas, I typically every night will go to the dog park with my dog for an
Rob
hour.
Sell just got very interested in what you're about to say. Okay.
Why do you think I made this red?
Nice. Red rocket, baby.
But
you're
it didn't
right. When
happen.
we were-
It didn't happen. I didn't get invited onto there. I wasn't even aware of it.
When I was in Vegas and we got in your car, the Apple Maps was like, "Would you like to go to the dog park in the middle of the day?" Like it is,
or in the evening, because that's like when it knows I go to the dog park. Right.
Yeah, it was like, "Would you like to go to?" It was
Right. You know, it's a
regular
destination.
trip.
Right.
Are
But
you
either way,
testifying on his behalf right now, Moody? I believed him that he goes to dog parks.
I leave my
I'm just-
basement.
I'm
The
giving-
prosecution rests.
We know you love your dog, Patrick.
the point
no one
point
was
is
debating that.
The point is I wouldn't have gone on anyway. I'm probably letting you know that. Like I wouldn't have gone on, but that's not the way it happened. I didn't go like, no, I can't. I just, what am I going to say to Aaron? Actually, Aaron, I probably would have some questions for because I've never had a chance to talk to him. Chad, I've just run through it with. What am I going to ask Chad? He's going to lie about it.
Yeah, Chad,
You know,
Chad doesn't add any value to anything because he's just
I just like it, but people don't seem to understand it. I don't know. Cash, thanks for gifting a membership. Appreciate that. Erica Ann, member for 11 months. I don't know how I got here for 11 months. Hi, Karl.
Hi, Erica.
I don't know. Sharon C. already gifting another 20 membership. It's unreal. We get 11 of those. The current exchange
we
rate.
get 11 of those.
Silence Do Good, member for 7 months. Guys, we're so close. A couple chunk plays. We could really knock this thing out. Greg C, member for 11 months. Crap out X forever, mommy. Crop out X forever, mommy.
Moody, where are we at towards the goal? You've been calculating this the whole time.
We're at. I can go the actual number. I've been calculating it.
Where are we at?
$411.74.
Oh, that's not even close to the goal. Wait, what's the goal? It sounds like we
Yeah, but how much of that do we get?
The goal is insatiable.
How much do we get of that?
Guys, we got to get the goal for next week's This Little Piggy.
20
All
gifted
right? Would that be
memberships
cool?
for
Oh, reels.
Oh.
Nice. Guys, if we can get the goal for next week's This Little Piggy, that'd make it a lot easier for us. We don't have to stress
don't
out
even
about
worry
it.
about giving it to Karl. Just send it in now.
Right. Wait a second. You keep getting my super chats too. Keep getting them.
That's how I designed the system to fool everyone
Oh.
thinking it's you.
I like
We
that
make
you.
them randomly
I'm the one that's going to
follow
be
some
suing
around.
people in this whole
Yeah.
thing.
Donkey Brains, member for 12 months. Smash the like button. Oh, yeah. Hit the like button, everybody. We haven't even promoted that. Aaron doesn't promote the like button anymore, ever. He'll get like 35 likes on a show. And also, he has to be deleting comments because I've never seen a show get 4,000 views and have 6 comments, 3 comments.
He says that he goes back and deletes comments from old shows, which is nuts that he would spend his time doing that. He's online half of the day, and he's the other half he's spending deleting comments.
Also, it's weird that Mersh's contract with Rumble's up, and now Mersh is outing Rumble for having fake numbers. It's like all these guys, once they're not tied to Rumble anymore, can admit that all the numbers over there are fake.
The Rumble numbers are ridiculous. Same with X. People started broadcasting on X's. Are like, holy shit, I have 5,000 viewers on X. You don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they mistake views, which I think is just the tweet went by my timeline. Impressions, not even. Yeah. So I love it. Karl, stop yelling. You will wake your mom wife.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Jen.
Bag clown? Is that what
My
they're
bad.
calling you? Thank you for not killing yourselves, says Koof.
Thanks,
What's
Koof.
this guy's deal? He was saying this all over Hackamania, I think.
He was giving stickers out.
Yeah, he's giving stickers away that say TYFNKYS. Thank you for not killing yourself.
He's really
I have it right
trying
over
to get
here.
trying to get this slogan to catch up.
It is catching on. Coop's got
It's a
this
nice
thing going.
slogan.
It actually stems from the Dick Show. Dick used to start his show by saying, "Thank you for not killing yourself."
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Send Chad the link. Chad Nation for life. Yeah. Do people want? Would Chad take a link?
Does he have an intent?
People seem to forget that John, Joey, C, and I weren't the only locals that stayed in Florida. Even Jerry Banfield stayed in St. Petersburg, Florida, and now he's got his kids investing in ICP crypto.
Wow, I got to look into the Jerry Banfield. That's interesting.
There's an ICP coin.
Yeah, Chad's in a hotel right now because I don't think he has power yet. Back in
his
place.
power went out like early on as soon as it started raining.
That's right. That's right. Oh, okay. So this is something I wanted to bring up because analyzing the way that Aaron is ruled by emotion, like he's very bipolar. I think he has bipolar disorder. If I had
The
to guess.
swings are wild.
The swings are wild. He gets so low when he's not getting money. He gets so high when he is getting money. It's crazy to me. I don't have those types of emotional swings, so I don't understand it, especially like within the same episode of your show. To be like, he's so down in the dumps and he hits the goal. He's like, yeah, fuck you. I hit the goal. He gets, and Chad's the same way. Chad is such an emotional bitch.
Yes.
Everything with him. So let's talk about what happened for Hurricane Milton. It started with, I hate Florida, man. I got to move out of here. And every fucking year we get these hurricanes coming in and this sucks. I don't know what to do.
And then this became one of the biggest storms ever and one of the most powerful storms that was going to hit Tampa. Again, I've lived in Tampa a long time. We always miss. It always goes north or south. It just doesn't really ever hit Tampa.
Well, this one did hit Tampa. It just became a category 3 by the time it hit land.
Right. But Chad did this thing where he's like, you Karens, you're all worried about this hurricane, like pussies. I love the pussies line with a hurricane.
Right. Yeah.
As if it's some rational opponent that you can calculate your moves against. Like
when your roof pops off, you're not a pussy anymore.
You didn't train enough.
Yeah, right.
Like, so he's going to stay and fuck you. You're dumb. And he said one of the funniest things in this hurricane video that he's taken down, he went and parked his car on the top of a parking garage and told everybody where it was, which is insane. Again, it goes to him giving out his confirmation number, the Borgata, him giving out where he got his shirts from so that the order can be, he likes that. I think
he's not a smart guy.
I think he does it on purpose. I think he likes the content. He knows that he'll get a call up and be a victim and go, somebody did this to my room.
Okay.
And he gets to go on his stream and go, somebody did this to my room. He's not a complete idiot. He knows what a confirmation number is. Like, come on. Is this me doing the steel toe? April's gonna come out.
I think so. You say Chad's not a complete idiot. I'm like, what world are you living in? What are you talking about?
I heard it when I said it. You're right. But he did this thing too where he's like, oh, it looks like The Walking Dead around here. No one's around here. But I talked to my neighbor, and my neighbor said she's lived here 35 years and the power's never gone out. Now I can just tell you from living in Florida,
the power goes out.
That's so insane. The power goes out all the time. There's no way Chad's lived there for 4 years and the power hasn't gone out. And now I know it's a lie because Chad even said, I've never even had the internet go out until this last hurricane. Well, Chad, I remember you missing a lot of shows and the internet going out during shows. And you tweeting that the internet was out and like he lies about every fucking thing.
Yes. So the point I was trying to make is that there was a time during this past week, he was feeling all of his feels. He's a very emotional guy. He's very chick-like in that way. And he's talking about like, this sucks. This hurricane's coming through. They're saying we're all going to die. I got to get out of Florida. I can't live here anymore. And then as soon as it came through and it didn't wipe out his building, he's like, yeah, I knew it. See, you guys all left because you thought the hurricane was going to affect you. It did. It didn't affect anyone. You guys are pussies. You should have stuck around. All of a sudden you beat the hurricane.
Karen.
It's a steel toe hitting the goal.
Yes.
Well, it oscillated because when he heard about the hurricane, he's like, I gotta get out because these hurricanes. Then he said, I'm staying, you pussies. Then when the power went out, he did that video outside where he's like, I'm moving out of Florida. The minute this is done, I'm moving. He said it. I'm getting out. I can't do this. And then the minute it passed, Karen's, he took a picture of an uprooted tree.
Right.
Which I'm going to say that's not related to the hurricane. And the reason I say that, it's in a pristine yard and there's no other debris anywhere and there's no hole that the tree came out of.
Interesting.
Now look, there was a hurricane that just went through there and wrecked a lot of people's homes and stuff. I don't know, but if you go look at that picture Chad posted of a completely uprooted tree, where did it come from? Like, again, there's not even like dragging and leaves and limbs. It's just a tree in the middle of a nice yard.
Interesting. That's a good point. You're right. It's weird though. The tree is completely intact.
There's
It's just
usually be
fallen over.
branches and leaves and like a clear path that had the dirt from the roots. Like
Weird.
I don't know, but you'll never know. That's the beauty of Chad. What I love about Chad.
That's what you love about Chad.
I do. I want to
You know,
know when he put-
Aaron has been ball washing Chad. Or,
Yeah, of course.
Chad lately. He says he still thinks he has more entertainment to provide to the world, is the quote that Aaron had about Chad Zumock. He has more entertainment? Holy shit. I mean, this guy's already provided so much entertainment. There's more?
loaded up with it.
Incredible.
What do you think?
He's also been gassing up Will Heron a lot.
Yeah.
Like way more than normal. But I think it's because Will goes after
Kiki.
Kiki.
Yes. He's like Kevin in that respect. Yeah. Who's an enemy of my enemy right now?
Yeah.
It's why it's funny when Stevie Lou or Rob Saul or Chad or any of these guys who constantly go on Kevin's show, they don't know they're being used. They think Kevin likes them, and they have no memory of being treated like shit. And the minute Kevin needs them, he brings them back in, and their self-esteem is so low. They come in, and it's like, it's not because you're not interesting. You don't have good stories. They're Ray. I mean, it's just like what he's put Ray through.
Yeah,
he'll bring someone on to stick it to whoever's
right.
on
And that's what happened with Gino and Pat. You know, he brought Pat on to stick it to Gino. And I'm not saying he didn't like Pat, but it's like that wasn't the first motive. And that there's a reason he helped Pat out with the lawsuit or with his legal stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's all to stick it to Gino. And then do you think Felicia's on because she's special talent? No, she has drama with Pat. So it's like it just and he uses Chad and Ray against each other constantly like ping pong balls. So it's like that's what it's all about.
He had the guy that attacked Stevie Lou to stick it to Stevie Lou.
Right. But now Stevie Lou's back on whenever he wants it. Like it's just like I can't imagine just like getting fucked over by this guy over and over and over again and every time he calls you back. But that is where Chad is. So I don't know. I want to know what Chad, my number one question about Chad and the Hurricane, what was in the fridge? What did he load up with? What are Chad's hurricane supplies?
He had ice. He said he went to go get ice. He had 3 or 4 candles.
Okay.
And a battery, like a power bank, I think, for his phone. And that's
power bank for your phone.
And I think he said he was filling his bathtub up with water at some stage.
Well, somebody asked him to do that, and he said, "Why would I do that? I don't get that theory." It's not a theory.
It's just you've got water if you need it.
Yeah, and look, it's probably not drinkable water unless it's an emergency. But you can flush a toilet, you can bathe. If you absolutely don't have anything to drink, you can drink.
You could probably drink it, yeah.
My favorite is
Chad's ring around the tub. I don't know, but
my favorite is how John prepared for it because he's hunkering down and he went out and bought ice and cold cuts. Even though his friend told him, don't get something perishable like cold cuts. He still went out and bought cold cuts in order to make it through.
Like, I've never seen them go bad. I always finish them first.
Right.
Don't perish.
I mean, honestly, you can lose electricity for days and days after a hurricane. It takes a long time for that cleanup. Sometimes.
I mean, Chad doesn't have power back, and he's in South Tampa, which is an affluent area. You know, I imagine I was lucky growing up because our house was on a hospital grid. So it was always one of the like first ones restored.
Mm-hmm.
But I would imagine like there's a lot of money in that in South Tampa. So I can see it being something that would get done quickly, but it's still been what, 3 days? No power?
It's a lot of fucking damage to deal with, man.
And then he went to get a hotel and he's like, and most of the hotels around here are booked up. It's like, wow.
I just knew.
He's 4 years into hurricanes. He says this happens all the time, but he doesn't know fill your tub. He doesn't know the hotels will be full.
It's almost like he's stupid, right, Patrick? It's almost like he's dumb.
Why didn't he ask like Florentine or any of his friends whether he could tour for that week? Just to be
or
away
stay in
from
their house
everything.
while they toured.
By the way, you think he didn't?
Right.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
did. He probably asked all of his comedian friends if he can open for them more than he's podcasting. That's probably what's on his schedule for the most
Because
part.
again, one of the funniest / saddest things he said was, I'm not going to leave my home. And that kind of got me right there when he called that place his home. and then he goes and just go like, what am I supposed to do? Go stay in a stranger's house.
Yeah, like
it was like
him
what?
and John both proved they have nowhere else to go. They're like, what am I going to do? John goes, what am I going to do? Drive to Miami? Then what? Chad's like, where would I go? It's like, did you know how pathetic that is? That you don't have any friends or family anywhere that you can stay with?
That's not even an option. Like to go stay with a
strangers
stranger.
don't want you.
Like,
there are shelters. There are like Florida set up all of these shelters that you can go to be safe. But a stranger's home is never the option. A hotel room, a friend, a family member.
I don't know where he pulled it from. I don't know where he got it. I loved it. I love that he told everybody where he parked his car.
Yeah.
You know, if he had any real trolls in the area, they would have gone and stickered up his car.
Well, he lives in Cumia country, so he's got to be careful with that.
Right, right.
Jesus.
It's the Walking Dead out there, man. There's nobody. He's like, everything's closed. He goes, I'm not gonna be able to go to the gym. It's like,
right.
Yeah,
correct.
right.
That's why everyone left. Chad.
Oh God. Where do we go from here? I don't think we're gonna send Chad the link.
All right.
Raise Balls gifted 1 membership. Raise Balls gifted another membership, and Moulin Diff. F Christina C, Joey C, and Mon Chi Chi. Yeah, did they get caught? Joey C and Christina C and Spider got caught. They were pretending they stayed and didn't.
Yeah, they eventually decided to get out of there. They made that decision.
Because along came the rain and washed the spider out, huh?
Oh, I see what you did there.
See?
I like it.
I don't really have anything else to offer.
Even Moody knew that song.
Yeah, that we got that over in New Zealand.
Finally, Chad won't share a screen with Ray. He would never. Yeah, that's the other weird thing is like he like Ray's show's unwatchable.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I do a show where we watch Ray's show, and I've never said Steel Toe's unwatchable.
It's unwatchable as entertainment for like the way that
the way it's intended. Right. Yes.
Right. But it's like a Jim can't swim style of
to
studying
see behind the
psychosis.
curtain as a meta show. It is fantastic.
Coop says everyone should be thanked for not killing themselves. Life is hard. Thanks for sticking around. I guess so. When you
put
it like that.
Agreed, Coop. Thanks for coming to Hackamania. We'll see you at Hackamania 2, probably.
Yeah, Coop gave me a sticker at Hackamania. I still have it. Thanks.
What a nice boy. Yeah, I think I have one too in my sticker pile.
Melton is just jealous of me because I'm a stand-up, and I proved today that Melton is podcasting and washing Karl's balls because everyone in the comedy community hates Melton. KB is, of course, beloved.
That's correct.
Where did ball washing come from? Like, how dirty are everyone's balls?
But it happens with this Rekieta thing too. Hold on, I'll get to that in just a second. The Ghost of Mr. P. You're yelling again, Corky. Reel it in, spaz. Are you really? Mr. P does not like you, Karl.
Talking about me?
Are you Corky?
Who's Corky?
He yelled at you for he was yelling at you for yelling earlier. I assume he's still mad. But going back to what you were saying, which I already forgot in the fucking train. I said we'll get back to that in a second. I forgot the train of thought. What'd you say, Moody?
It was I forgot.
See, fuck. God damn it. That's why we do a pro. I go, hold on, let me just knock this super chat out real quick, and I'll come back because I got something to say about that.
He's not smoking weed anymore, guys.
It was about
the
show. Like, you can't watch Steel Toe just for the show. It's the meta show above it.
Nah, it wasn't that.
Whatever.
It wasn't that important. Any other? I think it was more about the super chat display, the super chat display system. I predict that'll be gone in a week or so. That'll stop putting the chats up on the screen. What say you?
Maybe not a week, but once people start just doing Butter and like Angosh and Kayla super
well,
chats.
they have, but he doesn't put them up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll dry up. so he'll stop making money.
Why do you think he's going to stop? Because it's encouraging people to give him money in the ways that
on super
more money.
Yeah, on super chat. Well, I don't think he can not read free chat. Like he's gotten it's such a
part of the show. It's a big part
cornerstone of every good day. Now it's a cornerstone of his show.
He reads the Rumble chat. He doesn't read the YouTube chat. He gets super chats from YouTube. But if you want,
he reads both. I think he reads both.
If you want to get a message to him, he reads every line of the Rumble chat.
He said he has the YouTube Studio app, which has the YouTube chat next to it. Why? When I'm on, I don't constantly stare at OBS or whatever. Why does he? He never stops watching himself.
That's true.
And we know the chat's in a different place because he reads the chat and talks to it, but he comes. He never, even when he's got a guest there and he's talking to them, he'll watch himself.
Yeah.
It's one of the oddest things I've ever seen.
You know, Adam Bush had a great point on WATP this week. We were watching some of Steel Toe, and he was sitting there with, I think, Matt sitting next to him. And Adam points out, most podcasters, when you're doing a show with someone, you face them. You're having a conversation with your co-host or your guest or whatever it is. You can't even make eye contact with Aaron. Everyone has to be lined up facing out at the camera like it's Fox News or something, where it's like, no, that's not what podcasters do. Like, we're all looking at each other and doing a show.
And sometimes he'll even turn away from you and look out the window or up at the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. When those two are talking to each other, which is rare, they're not looking at each other at all. And if Matt even does look over, yeah, you're right. Aaron will get this body language like, don't look at me.
Yeah, it's just one of the most bizarre humans to ever walk the face of the earth.
I have a clip. Can I share my screen? Can I present something?
Yeah, how does that work?
All right, so give me a second. All right, here, I got it right
here.
See,
we all have tech issues.
I got it right here if you want to load that up. This is fun. This is a Stalin 19 clip, but a question is asked, what's up with the $50,000 that you're saving now from April's salary?
Right.
And Aaron goes, I've explained this a million times. I'll do it again. This is really funny.
Dejois with 199 says, where's the 50K bonus since you canned April? We've been very transparent about that.
All right. We've been very transparent about that. That's how we started this. I think it's hilarious. All right. So let's see.
Well, hold on. The face you've paused him on is his like,
He's the things he said in the past as well about this is that it's going to go to taxes. There's a lot of taxes.
No sense.
It makes no sense.
Because taxes are proportionate.
He does this thing constantly where he's like, we're almost not able to afford our taxes. It's like, that's not a possible thing.
All right. Well, let's see what he says this time.
Some went to Johnny, some went to Matt, and the rest, I'm sorry. April, what we like.
Someone's trained to do some explailing.
Right.
Let me back that up real quick. Yeah, he's being very transparent. And the rest, let me just say that
some went to Johnny, some went to Matt, and the rest, I'm sorry. April, what we like still got a household budget, still got bills, and April did not account for a lot of the income or the expenditure.
What does that mean?
Right. So we're to believe, just by going what he says as his baseline, that he paid April 50 grand,
right,
and she didn't chip in around the house. Now, if that's true, then why do you need her income now to afford the bills?
Right.
But also, that's not how we're all adults with money. This isn't how it works.
All right. But so he goes on. He realizes that doesn't explain it. So let's see what else he says.
In this home. So it went towards everything. We spread it out. We absorbed it into everybody and everything, and we gave back what we could.
We spread it out. Then we absorbed it. And then we gave it out where we could.
And then we gave it back where we could. The question is, the goal hasn't changed. Even though you got $50,000 of salary off the books and you claim that you're just making it just enough money to make by, we're not trying to make a huge profit over here.
We spread it out, then we absorbed it, and then we gave it out the best we could. Like
that's a yoga. That's a yoga thing now. Breathe it.
Right.
Point it out.
We breathe in the green. Breathe it in. You can feel it. The green's coming in. Blow out the black. All right, let's see what else he says here because this is funny.
Can you just play it?
Yeah,
straight through from that.
Of course.
Bills and April did not account for a lot of the income or the expenditure in this home, so it went towards everything. We spread it out. We absorbed it into everybody and everything, and we gave back what we could.
The goal is like a sponge now. It's being absorbed into everything.
It's the upwards facing goal. That's what that.
It's like ShamWow.
Look, I only have one MBA, so I'm not the best with balance sheets.
You're like Ray DeVito. Yep.
How can someone get paid $50,000 a year and not account for income or expenditures? That has to be on one side of the balance sheet another. Like,
your P&L would definitely reflect that. Yeah.
I think I know what's happening. Like I can see through this.
Okay.
All right, here's my theory. All right, he brought April onto the show when he was on Twitch. He was earning about $20K, a little bit more than that a month.
Right.
So in a year he was making $220, $230, $250, something like that. And he said April's such an important part of the show. She makes about $50K of that. So it was like I don't think there's any P&Ls happening or anything like that.
Right.
He just said
it's like 20%
that's around the amount she makes.
I'll give to April.
And then
right.
he never brought that amount down, nor did he like separate his and April's finances. He just extracted money for the household from the show. So, as the show's income went down, he never changed or adjusted that $50K figure. He just said April earns 50 because April earns 50.
But it's imaginary.
But they were still taking in the money. So when April's 50 disappeared, he still needed the same amount almost, minus April's expenses to run his household.
So do you think he was just pulling one sum of money into their joint account every month to pay bills?
Absolutely.
So this whole thing for months and months where he's like, we're still trying to crunch the numbers after we got to get her off the books.
Mhm.
That means nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't mean anything.
All right. So something funny is coming up right here.
Day 12. I hope you're satisfied with that answer. I hope that wasn't a troll question because I did answer it in good faith. Thank you.
I hope that satisfied. Yeah, I hope that satisfied you. You just said nothing. Look we got expenses and there's things that's being absorbed and pushed around and given back and what? None of that made any sense.
Good.
Thank you. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says what's hard to understand about the April thing is still staying in the Imholte household income. Seems there's little to no difference between paying her or not. Well, no. I mean, we brought Matt aboard. We doubled Johnny's pay. I mean, we gave a lot of that money away.
But he didn't double Johnny's pay.
Right. And again, if you just would have said, oh, that salary is now going to Matt and Johnny, conversation over. But he can't say that because it's not. And those guys will call him on it.
The entire salary for Matt and Johnny, so assume $75 a show, which is the new figure he pays them.
Yep.
If they
$10,000.
every show a year, throughout Stilto, which they don't, he would pay them $31,200. That's their entire pay.
Show. If they did every show.
Right.
Throughout the whole year at the new figures that he's reached. It doesn't come close to 50.
So again, he goes, what else do I have to explain? Some of it went to those guys, and then there's other money too. And it's the opposite of transparent. This is the opposite of transparent.
And again, like we're all adults who make money and spend money and have bills and do our own budgeting and stuff. So to say this thing where for 3 or 4 months he was like, we're waiting to see what it's like when April's off the books. It's like any accountant could tell you what it's like if you're really getting rid of somebody who you're spending $50,000 on. They can tell you exactly what you'll have extra every month from that.
Yes.
Anybody should be able to check that. He's like, we're still waiting on the numbers to come in. It's like, from where?
We've got to build that war chest.
Like companies can calculate when they lay people off how much they're going to save. That's how they calculate how many people to lay off.
Correct.
So like this idea that it's like, I don't know if that was enough or not. We're going to have to see where all the dust settles and how much. It's like, that's not how anything works.
Yeah, just because. So he's actually like he's confused. He's not.
Right.
This is one of those instances where he knows exactly what's going on. But
Hopefully
he's like,
you'll
yeah,
forget.
it's crazy, guys. I mean, there's Johnny, there's Matt, there's expenses, there's heating and HVAC.
I don't believe he's keeping track of money that's coming in, really. I think it's as short as, like, we need this money for the goal. I'm hitting the goal. I'm not hitting the goal, that sort of thing. He sees whatever money comes in, pays out Johnny and that, and then takes the rest for himself.
He's not doing any accounting on this? You don't think?
Well, you think the Venmo and the Streamlabs and PayPal and all that stuff depends on whether it goes to that. Is it personal accounts? Does this funnel into the business somehow? And how would we even know? And if he spreads it thin enough, if he gets it, the tax laws and the reporting and stuff from these platforms, if he doesn't hit a certain threshold of 20,000 on every one of those, they don't have to report it to the IRS. He's supposed to report it, but they're not required to report it. And you can get away with it, not doing it. So who knows how he's moving money and juggling it. Again, I think someone's looking into it, but
then the bills didn't go away. Like, April didn't, I'm not saying this to shit on her. She didn't bring much to the table in that regard.
That doesn't make any sense. Bills didn't go away. I still have to pay my mortgage and my HVAC bill and my car insurance. Like, right. But the $50,000 salary went away. That's what we're talking about.
Right. He's saying both. He's saying April didn't help with the bills, but also, like, I can't just take away April's money. It goes to the bill. It's like,
yeah.
But you just said she didn't help with the bill.
So,
but when someone didn't explain something, when they go, I hope that explains it. When someone just like filibusters and bullshits, I mean, it's word salad. It's like Kamala Harris, who I know he doesn't like. Word salad. She was just be like confused, like, okay.
He's given himself a raise after April left. That's
right.
He
admitted it. He admitted it once. He did say it once. And also, like, yeah, he's not only saying, I hope that explains it. He goes, I explained it so good and nobody explains it better.
I've already explained this a dozen times, guys. I'm very transparent, but fine, I'll do it one more time. Let me
write it down on this napkin so you can understand it. There's A, there's B, and there's C. Like, yeah, I just don't, like, literally he hopes you're dumb and stop asking about it. He wants it. That's why he says a couple months I'll tell you, or in a couple months I'll be on the radio. You're supposed to forget. In a year I won't be begging. You forget.
And I'm not a fan of the term gaslighting. I've been using it a lot lately. I know it's annoying for people, but it's literally what he's doing. Yeah. He's trying to convince you that he's already explained it and that you're the idiot. Guys, I've already told you what I'm doing with the money. I'm very transparent about it. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry I even asked. I'm such an idiot. I forgot you were transparent about it.
There's like and Slampy's just sticking around for all, like, how does she not
women are dumb, Moody.
Well, yeah, if she was smart, she'd buy her domain name if she was smart.
Aaron throws good dick. Aaron throws good dick, man.
In the words of Homer Simpson, women will believe what we want them to believe.
Yeah.
Right. Don't worry about it. Mike Larson says this hurricane wouldn't happen under Trump. Guys, we might hit the goal today. I don't know. It's close. Rally.
We need a rally.
Mike Larson, the hurricane wouldn't happen under Trump, and Aaron would hit every goal. Chad would still be Chad, unfortunately. I went over there. Chad was live earlier, and he was literally playing clips of the tornadoes tearing up people's stuff and laughing. Like, this is where he's at now. He's got his Venmo QR code on the screen, and he's going, watch this again. This is my favorite part. Like, while families' homes get wrecked. People died from the tornadoes, I think, on the other side of the state more than they died from the hurricane.
Yeah.
And that's what he was watching and laughing about it. And it's like people don't understand how easily that could have been you, Chad. And I know you don't have anything to live for, but it's like, we saw what you were like when you thought it was scary. We saw a little bit of humility.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
You're like, fuck, I should have left. You guys were right.
Yep.
So it's just to be watching that again. There's a heel and there's a piece of shit, but like, you're watching people's homes get torn apart and go, look at this part. Look at this part. Right?
Dude.
Super
also
funny.
On his show today, because a couple people reached out to me and said he's going after producer Chris. So I tuned in. I don't normally watch his show, but I tuned in to see this. He knew producer Chris's real name. That's devastating.
Is it Chris?
It is. It's Christian is his name. And then
Shit.
I know. He knew it wasn't Christopher. He knew it was Christian, which is holy shit. I don't know. He's
Doxed.
Yeah, docs for sure. And then he showed a photo of Chris tending bar at a restaurant, and he goes, "Guys, I hate to tell it to you, Chris is a bartender." And I went, "All right, I don't know if Chris is ever going to be on WTP again."
Yeah.
Now that this
Has he
is
deleted and locked
exposed.
down his socials yet?
I hope so. I mean, I've advised him, like, people are going to find out. And he's so stupid, too, Chad's like, this guy's a bartender, but I'm not even going to tell you where he's bartending right now. That's because he hasn't been bartending since the pandemic. He quit that job because the pandemic forced a lot of people out of the service industry because it fucking sucked. So it's been 4 years since he's been a bartender, and Chad's showing a photo of Chris from 10 years ago. Going, see, this guy's a fucking bartender.
Chad's got a photo of everybody 10 years ago. You,
Yeah,
me.
He's got it all figured
I
out.
love that. He would look great in that picture.
Yeah, his hair is all dark. There's no gray in it. It looks fantastic.
Chad digs up photos of us 10 years ago to embarrass us. He doesn't realize he still uses photos 10 years old of him, and they're hanging up behind him.
He's got an Argyle sweater on still.
Yeah. It's on his wall in his living room. Again, imagine bringing a girl home and being like, those, just a couple posters. By the way, not framed, not like, these are some of my life accomplishments that I'm proud of. No, just scotch taped up. Sorry about the black eye I drew on one drunkenly with a pen once. Like, he's just...
Dude, you
those
lost
are 10-year-old photos.
You lost me at imagine bringing a girl home. Chad has zero game. There is no way he would talk to a girl. He's so emotional. He's such a nervous wreck about everything. There's no way he would be talking to a girl in a bar and she'd be like, this guy seems nice.
Right. We've talked about this a little bit this week. Chad versus Aaron. Women, who would you rather go out with? And I believe Aaron gets laid. I believe Aaron's charming. Yeah. I believe Aaron can win people over. We know this. He's knows
a tall glass of water. That one.
He knows all the tricks. He's in Minnesota. He's a 6. So like, I believe
his Vikings jersey on, his women's Vikings jersey on. He's a 7.
He's married 2 women. He's got a family. He can get laid. Chad is off-putting from the jump. Like the minute you sit down at a table with Chad, the shaky, sweaty, nervous energy, the vibrating, the energy is suspicious and red flaggy.
Before we skip past this, I just want to point out the poster on the wall that he drew the black eye on.
Yeah.
We can't forget. He drew it on the wrong eye.
Yes.
Because this fucking idiot looks in a mirror and doesn't realize how reflections work.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of that, like, where you can't prove it, but you'll bet that's what happened. I said the same thing with his captain's hat.
Yeah.
And then he never wore it again. When this hurricane stuff started, he was wearing his captain's hat.
Sure.
And I go, because Chad, hurricanes bring rain is water. Captains go on boats go in water. That was the connection. That 100%. If I had to bet money on it, I'd bet you that's the connection Chad thought of when he went to his little hat rack and picked his hat for the day. And that's coming from me. But the minute I called that out, he stopped wearing it. It just like Keanu made Aaron put chats on his screen.
Yes.
Like these people, they always react immediately and extremely to whatever he put out there about them. I love it. All right, we got a couple more of these. Where can I get a Moody hat?
Yeah, that's a
should we bring these back? Should we bring back the Moody and the scrimp hat? But now it's no scrimp.
Scrimp is gone.
The scrimp is gone. Gone away. The ghost of Mr. P. Jenny Jingles can jingle her mouth on these nuts. This is how we know when the show's over.
Yep.
It starts getting nasty. Tim Bollinger, I asked Aaron what the name of the store was to buy guns and ammo, and he didn't put the super chat up and didn't read it.
That's funny. Good job, Tim. That's a good troll. That's a funny troll.
So he is doing the ad for Midland Armory without saying the stuff. You know, he says gear, camping, hunting, that kind of stuff. And how's he going to do the e-cig vape without mentioning cigs or vapes? If you want to get your Nick fix. No, that doesn't sound good.
No.
How's he going to plug it?
I don't know.
Has he figured it out, or is he going to have to tell Benny he's going to? Because remember, he was going to get $400 a month for this and make one show free, or take $25 off every show, or $100 off one show a week. Whatever's the most confusing way for you to forget.
Right, yes.
He used to do that with VIPs and memberships. He'd say we would minus the number of memberships divided by the number of shows per week.
He'd say if we get $1,000 in memberships, we subtract $1,000 from the monthly goal, and then every day comes down a little bit because of the membership money. That it's all going out the window.
What does his vision board look like? I swear to God, it's a dry erase board. He's just constantly rewriting it every fucking day.
They look something like that. Just money.
I get it.
Oh, no.
What happened to April's salary? Gosh, guys, again? Okay. So first, let's talk verticals. Steel Toe Enterprises is a dynamic company with many subdivisions and a complex fiscal budget. Hope that helps.
That's basically his answer. It's perfect.
I've explained this before, guys. We can't. The store is going to launch. I found steeltoestore.com has been registered and is parked at GoDaddy.
Nice.
But my dream is to find this store before he launches it. What do you think is going to be in this store?
Is it at angosh.com?
Jesus. That's available. Someone in our Discord's going to get it.
Sure.
I actually have a steel toe hoodie, and I think it's going to be a collector's item because it has the old YouTube URL on it.
What's the old YouTube URL? You mean Twitch?
No, it was YouTube before they started doing the @ symbol thing.
YouTube.com/c/
/ Steel Toe Morning Show or whatever.
Oh, it's
it was.
still that, I think. I don't think he updated it. If you go look on his well, yeah, it still says he does a show on Thursday night on his schedule. Like this guy doesn't update anything. Like there's no effort.
I'm just saying, if you want to buy the coolest steel toe hoodie, you got to go to my merch store because that's where we're selling it.
Well, we used to sell bootleg ones. Anyway, look, I think he's planning some sort of exodus. I think there is writing on the wall. This cannot go on for another year. I don't think it can last another year.
What are you talking about? His show, it's growing. He has a bigger audience than ever before.
No,
what do you
goals
mean?
are getting harder and harder to hit. Like this dries up, and none of the pay pigs. None of the pay pigs that were there when I came on board are still there. None of them. They're all new people. And people just, whether they have the money or not, it's the same thing every. It's just this drum of like give. It's like
when David Chandler gave money to Johnny Crutches. Oh man, that pissed him off so much.
And he has to walk the line of like, don't be too mean because you want him to come over here and give, but also don't act too needy, but also don't let him off the hook.
He's given everything to Johnny. Like Johnny's taking it all from me. That's also the troll, is when you ask for what the guest's Venmo is, so that you can donate to them directly because they're doing such a good job.
Somebody's doing a super sticker now for 99 cents. That just the username is Johnny K's PayPal.
That's awesome.
Username is, and then so they only have to give 99 cents. It comes up in the chat. And then Aaron freaks the fuck out. He goes, yeah, great. Give out Johnny's PayPal. And then none of us will make money. You go give money to Johnny over there. He won't make any money over here. And then every show goes away. It's like, every show goes away? I really think he believes that. Like, I really think he thinks you go away if Stuttering John dies tomorrow. I go away if he goes away. It's like, it's so uninspired. It really is such a lazy cop-out of a thing to put on somebody.
I'll bring this up. I might play this on WATP tomorrow, but Aaron for the first time started going after me directly. He's talking about how these shows that just make fun of Stuttering John are so pathetic. And he actually used the argument. I couldn't believe it. Stuttering John has been more successful than you in show business. And therefore, who are you to clown him? It's phony to do that. And I couldn't believe my own. I'm like, this is like what Stuttering John would say. It's right up there with when Aaron started complimenting Chad Zumach. and I texted Aaron. This is the last time I ever texted. I'm like, oh, now I know you're trolling. Or
Right.
The fact that you'd act like Chad's good at broadcasting or brings up good points. And now he's saying that we can't make fun of Stuttering John because he was hired by the Tonight Show. No, that's actually the reason why we make fun of Stuttering John, because he was actually hired by the Tonight Show. And now we see what he really is. That's what makes it funny. How do you not realize that?
Yeah.
And Aaron's show is always about people who've been more successful than him. Like he talks about, he talked a lot about what's the guy from Jackass that fell off the wagon?
Oh, Bam
Margera.
Right.
He talked about Bam Margera's kids constantly.
Who was way more successful than Aaron in show business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And Aaron kept talking about, like, he's scouring TMZ for articles and things. So
he literally said the people like me are a bunch of people who are nobodies ripping on a guy who was something. Like he's trying to play that same card that Stuttering John does, which is retarded, that we're jealous. I wouldn't switch places with John in any universe.
I've always said. That's what I've always said. It's like Kevin would use this argument all the time where he's like, he's done more than anybody. And it's like, right. And no one would switch places. People know what Kevin Brennan makes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on Super Chats. Anyone want to switch?
Nope.
No.
Not even close. So it's miserable.
Chad, no one wants to switch places with Chad. No one. So Aaron did this thing. Somebody told him the other day, like, you should start A-logging Melton. You should start like that. And he goes, that's like, he actually said, I'm above that. Like, that's not that we do it like a real entertainment show. And like, those guys are pathetic and they have to do that.
No,
and it's like, Aaron, you A-log everyone who hates you every day. You tell everybody what they're up to. You call it gossip. Your old school fans told you they hated it. And then you finally snapped this week and said, I don't give a fuck. I like gossip. The old school, you got to deal with the drama. I love it. So you A-log without A-logging. I said this actually in our chat before the show today, and I think it's actually, I never really thought about it, but it is true. Chad brings receipts. Chad constantly brings clips, and he wants to show you things that are not gotchas. They're inconsequential, and they're almost boring. We found Melton's proposal video. Well, it's on my YouTube channel. You didn't. Right. We got a hold of this thing, and he's so poor intellectually that he can't present it. Even if it is something, he can't present it in any meaningful or cohesive manner, so he doesn't get a point across. Aaron does the opposite. Aaron's got these things that he says are bombshells. All of Chad's receipts are garbage, nothing burgers. Aaron has bombshells. He says, I got screenshots. You should see what Melton did. Never shows any receipts. Never says what it is. So it's very weird to me. Aaron's always got this ammunition in his back pocket that he never puts up. And I think that's why he could never A-log a program. He couldn't, his mind would melt watching me take him apart. First of all, he'd have to defend everything. And I also don't think he doesn't want his people. That's why he blocks people. He doesn't want people finding out the truth. And that's how truth would leak in. If he A-logged anybody, really, if he showed any clip of his haters ever, truth would leak into his program, and he cannot allow it.
He used to A-log DSP. And so that he used to watch
he turned into DSP.
Right.
Yeah. So he used to, but now he doesn't.
But how funny is that he goes, these shows are making fun of Stuttering John. He goes, I got to say it. It's pathetic. You're e-bagging twice a day for hours. And you're going to call what we do pathetic. I'm sorry. I just can't take that seriously.
Both things are true.
Maybe both things are true.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Just coming from him.
One of these things is more pathetic than the other. Some of us are at least pretending to do a show. Like, it really is rough. All right. I think we're done. I think we're caught up. Any other? There is one. Whitney's tits. Do you guys hear? Ray took Blue Chew yesterday.
For what reason? Why? Why would he need a boner?
You had a guy coming over.
Correction. Kenyatta was not on Kevin Brennan's show. He was on Ray's show. So just want to apologize to Kevin. I said he was on his show before. He wasn't. Gotcha. I'm sorry.
Makes
Moody,
all the difference in the world, I think.
You can't fuck up like that. We're pros on this show now. This is the real deal.
I'm sorry.
Karl, what do you want to plug? Any big sold out events?
We do have a sold out event coming up in Detroit, October 25th. I'm looking forward to that. But I do want to plug, we are in the month of Jocktober, everyone. We're celebrating Jocktober on Who Are These Podcasts. We've had a lot of fun episodes already. Brooke and Jeffrey out of Seattle, The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne the God, Mojo in the Morning out of Detroit. Tomorrow, Brian Johnson is coming down on the show to do the Jubal show. And it's a lot of fun going back and listening to these morning radio shows that somehow still exist. And they're still doing War of the Roses, and they're doing all the hack radio bits, the song parodies.
It's what Aaron Imholte was before he got on the internet. And it's like, it's one of the gremlins got out, and you're like, holy shit, look at this thing. You're not even supposed to be here. It's like, because these people all belong in their little microcosm ponds, entertaining their fish. So you're like, I don't know how these things still exist. It's like they have a place. It's what Aaron should have stayed.
Well, he wants to. Yeah, he wants to be back in morning radio so badly.
Yeah.
Because everything's so soft and easy there. You're like, hey, guys, what song did you like when you were in high school? Give us a call after the break. Oh, I liked Foreigner. Yeah, dude, cool.
Well, also, he's the bully. He's the extreme bully on there. Remember, like, what he did to that woman is like more extreme than anything anyone's done to him. No one said like literally no one has said the shit he said about this woman and what he wants to do to her and have happen to her. No one's done that.
I haven't played that yet on WATP. I want to go back and play that.
It's wild.
It's wild. The way that he got kicked off of radio, and now he likes to play the victim card. Like, these people are all harassing me. This is nuts. You're like, you are the biggest bully that ever exists on radio. What are you talking about?
And it goes back to what you're saying about how emotional he is. That was, he didn't get that job, and a woman got it, and he lost his fucking mind and started breaking everything.
Yep.
He said a lot of times he's very vengeful as a person, and he enjoys it when bad things happen to people who've wronged him.
And constantly proclaims he's over the anger stage now. I've let it all go. But clearly you're not. Because Rekieta can make you lose your mind.
This last week he said, I'm tired of pretending that this doesn't please me.
Right.
When bad things happen to someone.
Right.
So it's like, this is who he is.
So real quick though, just want to say, Who Are These Podcasts? We do 2 episodes every week. Subscribe wherever you listen to audio podcasts. They show up every Thursday and Sunday at full episodes, and we appreciate the support, everyone.
DNL Play Games, thanks for being a member for a month. Moody, anything you want to plug? How's your new 3D printer?
I'm almost done with the room for it, so I'll be painting that immediately after this. I see that the angosh.com has been registered by someone, so look out for what goes up on there, I guess.
Before you paint that room, you want to run some swatches by John? So you don't pick a boring color?
I just went and got mist tints from the store. I just needed white-ish walls, so that was fine.
Good enough. Good enough.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to do it. Oh, one just came in from the ghost of Mr. P. Hey, I can't even see these emojis. Hey, Jenny, you like the bone in the can?
I think meat in the can.
Show you the...
Blow yourself up so we can see it.
What?
Make yourself big again.
I'm looking at it somewhere else. Hey, Jenny, you like the ham in the can? I don't know what the
meat in the can.
Show you the
melon.
Is that a melon?
I think that's a melon.
It's like a tennis ball
or grenade.
Mr. Anyway, I'm sure this is very offensive to me, and I'm very upset about it. It's really bothering me, and I'm going to go cry myself to sleep or punch a pillow or something.
You gonna go play a mandolin about it?
I'll probably start playing my mandolin very angrily. Also, Duke of the Dog Dickverse. I'm gonna break. There's 8 strings on a mandolin. I might break 4 tonight. Duke of the Dog Dickverse also came in with a super chat. I don't know if you saw that.
No, hold on. Let me go. They're so delayed on the super tip system.
No, is that the problem?
Duke of the. We're working on it. We got a request into Google for more API calls. Say hi to Rock Strongo for me, Karl, Duke of the Dog Dickverse.
Will do, Chris. Rock Strongo. Rock Strongo is producer Chris's name in the Isotopes. I'm Handsome Be Wonderful. He's Rock Strongo. We have Admiral Awesome. Lance
your
Uppercuts.
stupid band.
Max
You're gay.
Power. They're
You're
all
gay.
nicknames that Homer has given himself over the years.
Got
It's
it.
Simpsons themed rock band. So just
All
to show how cool I
right.
am.
All right. I think that's going to do it for this little piggy. Next week, whose channel? We don't know. We're trying to, Rocco should take a turn, but he's never available when it's his time.
I think the internet chased him away. I'm pretty sure.
People
I haven't seen him.
universally agree that Moody is a better puppet.
Yeah. I I just need to find a lap to sit on.
No, Moody, you need a catchphrase like, "Wow!" Can you do that?
Wow.
That's pretty
That's,
good.
that feels
That's pretty
like
good.
The show has jumped the shark. We'll see you next week on this little piggy. Bye.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma, another win. Oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week when we cap it slow, tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.